Come on. All righty, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Count the Bucket. I'm your host, Amber Vickers. I have Michael to the right of me. I have Nick below me, but I'm going to let Michael introduce our special guest.
You always do that to me right off the bat. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, it's kind of hard to introduce the guy when he's already been on the show with us quite a few times. In my little stint of being on the show, Nick, I think you've probably been on here more than I have. But as you guys know, Nick Andre, he's everywhere. Go check out his stuff. Please go ahead and give us a little plug on what all we can check you out
on. Just about everywhere. I can't even really name everything off the back, but as you all know, I'm a basketball analyst, basketball writer of all things, cover everything from high school to the NBA. You know, obviously a member of the Unwrapped Sports family. So, I mean, I guess what I can say is that I do have a link tree in my Twitter bio. So if you just want to check me out there, that everything will be there.
Sounds good.
Simple.
Sounds good.
That's simple. That's what we're talking about, because Michael likes to get out the notebook when I announce everything that I have.
Okay. I'm kind of embarrassed about this right now because, you know, you all are making fun of me about me writing down my notes. So every now and then I'll get like a notebook, like, okay, I might need this for something else. I just got to looking, like I wrote on this notebook here, right? Mm-hmm. My mouse pad is 3 other notebooks that I randomly have in here.
Right.
I didn't realize I'm accumulating these. I keep telling my wife, like, listen, I need a notebook that I can do my Unwrapped Sports Network stuff on and actually have, like, when we have our meetings, kind of go through this and I can have stuff, like, documented. And apparently I keep forgetting I get them. See, I need to make a note that says I don't need a note.
It's okay. It's okay.
Let me put that on my Post-it note. Don't need more.
Guys, we are 30 plus. You know, I don't think Nick, you're not 30 plus yet, are you?
I'm not there yet. I'll be there in a few years, but not there yet.
Okay, so Michael and I are 30 plus, so we do things a little differently. Okay, we do things a little differently. So you have to excuse us in our moments. We have moments, okay, guys. We have moments.
We don't have moments.
Hey, Michael, Hey, Michael. I know, honestly, don't even feel bad. I didn't even know that you could have the notes like actually on your home screen. So, you're obviously ahead of the game.
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. It was at work, my retail job that I have, and we had a part-timer. He's like just freshly out of high school, and like he showed me like, man, look what all I did with my screens. Let me show you here a little bit. Like he said, on this part, and then, you know, you can slide, you got all this. That's my son. Sorry about that. And he's like, he had them all color coordinated. He changed the pictures out, and it was like the same color with the theme. I'm like, how'd you do that? And he's like, you can do this. And I was like, oh, I can put my notes here. So thanks, man. I'm hip now.
All right,
but it is very handy. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. Nick, do you have any special projects or anything coming up? You want to kind of tell people what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it? Let's get to know Nick a little bit.
Are we gonna do our
promo? We got to do
promos first.
I got so excited to get to know Nick.
Make sure to do that first.
Okay, I don't want to get in trouble.
We gotta pay them bills first.
Okay, I got RX Hemp and Teespring. Which ones do you have?
Well, I guess the other ones.
You got the other ones? Okay, I already had them pulled up. I didn't want to make sure we
okay.
Double. Okay.
I do have the Patreon pulled up, so go ahead.
Okay. All right.
See, this is my scribble of everything. This is my ads that we read. So that's my ad notebook.
RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. My order is coming soon, guys. Got sent to the wrong address. I know. Don't beat me in the head with it, but I've needed it so much this week. It's ridiculous. But made with all natural products. I cannot talk tonight. CBD cream. Pay attention to this, guys. Warm and cool therapy. Celebrity believers. Go check it out. RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN to get 10% off of your entire order.
And also go to patreon.com/unwrapped sports. Like I always say, don't just type in unwrapped. It's a little bit weird. You can show your support with us. The Unwrapped fans is $1 a month. And of course, that's just $12 for the full year. Not very bad. Anyone can do that, especially with the stimmies that we've been getting. Thank you, presidents of whoever you want to thank. Also, Unwrapped Family, $5 per month. Get you a lot more access of different things at 10% on the Teeth Springs. I'm sorry about couldn't speak there. That Amber will be showing you just in a second. Also, to give you access to our 24/7 Patreon-only Discord chat. And that's we've got so many different chats going on in there. Go check it out with that. And then what we really appreciate is the VIP donation of $10 a month. And not only do you get the 10%, it goes up to 20%. And then you can actually interact with our Discord as well. But the main thing, each month we give out a winner of the $10 per month membership. We've had a Keenan Allen jersey, which Amber, I think, won. We've had a David Montgomery jersey, which Garrett on the show actually, or on some of our shows, has won. And this month we're drawing for a Ricky Williams mini helmet. And a miniature helmet. So go check that out. We're still fresh on this, and so your odds of winning are very high.
They are. They're extremely high right now. Guys, get in on it before it's too late. All right. Here we go. Teespring.com. Yes. Teespring.com/store/unwrapped. What is going on this Saturday night? We got some OG gear here in the front. And then we got some newer gear here as well. We got some Friends type. If you like Friends, hey, check it out. I'm going to give me some sweatpants here in a couple of weeks. Okay, page reload. Thank you. The King, is he back? Is he not back? I'm saying that for all our Laker fans and Unwrapped Sports Network.
Not 100%.
Oh, he'll never be 100%. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness, because it was crazy. All the live lineup has gear as well, guys. The People's XFL show. Yes, I said it right.
There you
Ladies
go.
First, of course. Backstop banter, of course.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for that horrible dance.
It's okay. And then a Long Ball Lounge with Jesse. He has special guests on as well. So check out teespring.com/stores/unwrapped to get you some Unwrapped Sports Network gear.
All right. And then after you buy your gear, you can also go over to mybookie.ag and start all your bets here in the United States. It's not an American website, so you're good. Also, we have a promo code there. Again, mybookie.ag, promo code is USN100, and it will double your first deposit that you ever make from $40 up to $1,000. So if you got another Steamy laying around after you've been paying that Patreon, go on over there, put in $1,000, they'll double that $1,000. What I really love about this site is you create your profile and it doesn't already ask for your credit card. I'm not a gambler at all. My mom would kill me. I say that all the time, even though I'm 35 years old. But at least I've created myself one, and if I ever get the urge, it's very easy, it's very friendly, and it's live bets going on like crazy. Anything from NBA over to boxing. I want to say Garrett always says that they even have Japanese football on here. That blows my mind. A lot of live bets, like right now, Washington, Indiana. Of course, that game I think is over, but you could do the spreads and the money lines and all that stuff, and it just goes on through there. So, again, go check out mybookie.ag and the promo code USN100. Man, we're getting good at these ads.
Yeah, we are. We try to get them quicker so we can have a longer show because we used to spend 10 minutes on.
Gotta get to that money.
One
man.
ad. Yeah,
one ad be 10 minutes. So I'm working on that for Ladies First as well. All right, we have our special guest, Nick Andre. We're gonna let him just talk about himself. So this is your time to shine, baby. This is your time to gloat, baby, gloat.
Oh my God.
Right.
Where do I start? Wherever
you want to start.
I'm just.
Let's start from the beginning. Let's just hear about yourself. Just tell us everything. Your upbringing. Let's get a personal level of you.
All right. Let's start from the beginning. Obviously, I was born and raised in Huntsville, Alabama. I found a love for the game of basketball at 5 years old. And, for some reason, I just didn't know how my life would turn out to be, but I just knew that I just wanted to be close to the game. So whether obviously being a basketball player, had NBA aspirations, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So I just found a love just for, being an analyst, being a writer. I grew up watching ESPN a lot, grew up watching, obviously the TNT guys, Shaq, Kenny, Charles, all those guys. And I guess I just found that love just from watching them, and I'm just looking at them hey, if they can get paid for talking hoops, why can't I? You know what I mean? So, and then also, just from the writing process, English was my favorite subject. So that's kind of how, I found the niche for it. I see your face. You're like, oh my god.
My goodness.
English, really? Wow.
English. I wasn't good at math, so I had to be good at something. So yeah. So
see, I love the math.
I do too.
English.
I can't do the math. I can't do it at all. Ugh. But but anyways, but yeah, English was my favorite subject. So I just started having like the niche to write. I want to say I started writing like as far as basketball, like maybe 2015 ish. So I was obviously writing a lot. I remember I wrote a story on like KD and Russell Westbrook, like right after KD like made the decision to go to Golden State, but I didn't have a platform to write on, so a lot of people don't know about that story. So it wasn't until I created a few of my own blogs. I created a blog on Blogspot. Then like a year later, I created my own blog titled Above the Rim. And then since then I've just been going at it, honestly. That's pretty much the beginning.
Okay. I just want to ask this, if you don't mind, since you mentioned that NBA, you thought a possibility. Did you play college basketball any?
I did not. I actually,
Okay.
it sucks, man. Like my junior year, or actually, I want to say my junior year, my AAU season, going into my senior year, my first game, I tore my shoulder, and it sucks because because I ended up not having a good senior season, and then after that, it was just basically a wrap. So unfortunately, after high school, I wasn't able to play the game at the next level, but it is what it is.
Right. Okay. Amber, do you have any questions? Because some of us come prepared.
You're prepared, so go ahead and ask your questions. You're prepared.
Okay. Well, you already talked a lot. Wow, that sounded such a bad sentence there. I apologize. You've given us a lot of background information there and loved it. But I'm going to kind of go, you talked about how blogging and everything. Who got you into it? Of course, you love the game. Is there someone that you've met or you watched their shows? You talked about TNT with Shaq and Chuck and all those guys out there. Is there one person that you said, I absolutely love listening to this guy, if it's a pod or anything like that you say, this is my guy, I love it, let's go?
I know a lot of people who are probably watching are probably going to hate me saying this, maybe not, but Stephen A, you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up a fan of him. Like, what I'm saying? Like he was one of the funniest guys. And then on top of that, he knew basketball to a certain perspective. So for me, just being like a young black guy, watching him being on that biggest stage, that kind of gave me like a lot of motivation, just basically saying, hey, I could possibly do it too, But yeah, I mean, that's that guy. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
But
I have to ask, since Stephen A is the one that got you, do you like his, I won't say personality, but the first take style of interviews and talks like that? Like, you're totally wrong, this is how, or do you like more of the conversating?
More so than the conversation. I think the whole debate thing has kind of gotten like out of whack over the last few years. I think like in the early 2010s it was a thing, especially like when he was with Skip, and then they had Kerry Champion being the moderator. But I think now that we're in 2021, I think that it's kind of gone out of style now. I think people just want to hear you talk basketball. They don't want to like really hear like the loud yelling going back and forth. I know sports is like a really like debatable topic and everything, but sometimes it's best to just have a conversation. But besides that, I mean, I'm still a fan of First Take per se. I do watch it often, but I think just like far as like that debate type, I think that we just gone out of style of it.
I almost feel watching the shows, even Shannon Sharp's show and Skip, I think it is. I feel like it's almost forced now. Like we have to have this argument, and it's almost like
I've stopped watching them so long ago, man.
Oh yeah, like. I'm so bad, and this is probably very petty, but I'll watch ESPN and just kind of leave it on like the longest time all day. You'll watch SportsCenter 5 times for 5 hours. You don't care. But as soon as I see First Take is on, I will make sure I turn the channel because I do not want them to get a single rating from me. I'm just like, I can't stand it. But that's me. I know I'm horrible as a person.
You're not.
But
I
just hate how they're yelling at each other. It could be like, okay, can the Cowboys go 9-6 years? What? That is horrible. They will go 8-7. That's ridiculous. I'm like, come on, man. Like, really, we're trying to make this so much, and it's every one of them that argue like that. I just feel like it is so forced.
There is one show that that people should really keep their eye on, and that's The Jump with Rachel Nichols. I mean, great NBA topics. They bring in a lot of great like NBA vets, Tracy McGrady, Kendrick Perkins, Vince Carter. Like they have really good topics without the whole debating and yelling. So I would definitely recommend that show 10 out of 10 times.
Oh yeah, the jump is very good. It's right up there with Count the Bucket, like the
Oh
people
yeah,
that they have
definitely,
on there.
definitely.
All
I
right, so
like Jalen and Jacoby too. I love Jalen
I
and
like that.
Jacoby.
Jalen Jacoby.
I love Jalen and Jacoby.
So since we're throwing out names here, Nick, tell us some of the stuff that you got because I know you've been putting some stuff on Twitter and I can't remember what it was called, and that's why I wanted to ask this question. So, what are some of the contents that you're producing here for us?
Oh my god, I can't even remember that at this point. But recently, I started doing these little mini article series that I'm doing just because I don't know, I just have a really fun time doing it. I did one in March, Child Forgotten Players, where I kind of
Forgotten Players.
Yeah, I kind of like reflected back on a lot of former All-Stars, a lot of former like role players that are on championship teams. Like I think what are the names that I use? Stromile Swift, Sidney Moncrief, Marcus Camby, a lot of those guys. And then after that, like maybe a month later, I did a WNBA draft series, like prior to the WNBA draft actually happening. I looked at players like Chelsea Dungy, Natasha Mack, and others. So yeah, I mean, just me doing that. And then also, I mean, I'm still writing regular articles. I put one out probably last week on the Dallas Wings. And then I put out another one as well on Erica Wheeler, I want to say. Yeah, on Erica Wheeler. So I just always want to keep the content rolling just because I don't want to be irrelevant as time passes by, especially with, basketball still being like a major thing. So those are the things that I have been putting out as a recent. I am working on a Forgotten Players Part 2 as of right now. I'm pushing that to possibly be something for the off season. And then I'm also doing another series that comes out next month titled HBCU Spotlight, where I can bring out some players that go to HBCU schools that may not get the recognition just because they don't play for the big time conferences like Pac-12 or ACC or Big Ten or whatever. So just kind of like really shining the light on talent that people may overlook, and possibly like whatever I write on will hopefully help their stock and their recognition.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I really do. I have to request an article about Sean Kemp, if you wouldn't mind.
Sean Kemp? All right, I got you.
I love Sean Kemp. And a lot of people don't know this, but Sean Kemp was actually going to commit to Kentucky.
I didn't even know that.
He got actually caught stealing some jewelry or a necklace from a jewelry store. So he actually went on to the pros. That's what the rumor was. Now, I'm too young to really know exactly how that went, but that's always what I heard. It could have been just like, hey, it possibly was information going on there, but he was going to go to Kentucky. So that's why I've always loved him. Back when the Supersonics were great, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Shrimp, I can throw out some good names. Hawkins was even on that team. I want to say Sam Baker, maybe the center that could shoot the three. That's a good team.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to make sure to write that down.
Please. Listen, I'm sorry. Yeah. Facebook's got all these little highlights, all of a sudden you'll see these big rolls of everyone, like Shaq and how he is dominant. But every time I see that Sean Kemp, I'm like, okay, life pauses for 10 minutes. Some of the dunks that he does. My favorite, Vin Baker. Yes, thank you. Oh, I guess I didn't pull it up here. I think I said Vin Baker.
Would you consider Zion to be like the closest version of him? Possibly.
I will say the potential, yes. Because Sean Kemp, I mean, he was really good, but he never got that much glory, And it was Sam Perkins. I put two players together. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that, DJ. But Sean Kemp, I'm trying to think that you said that. Zion, I would say, yeah, I'm going to stick with potential. I don't want to give Zion that much credit yet. Everyone thinks he's the new LeBron James, but he hasn't even played a full season yet. So let's just leave it at that. But yeah, his dunks were so powerful. Like the rims felt like they were abused every time he would go up. And I love the play where he dunks two-handed on somebody, pushes them, or they fall down and he just kind of squats and points in them like, that was on you. Like he didn't care. Like he was ruthless. Sorry, I'm geeking out here a little bit. Sean Kemp, come on our show. Shout out Sean Kemp and the Supersonics. Seattle needs a team.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
The fans are great too.
I mean, Sean Kemp and Zion, well, the game has changed so much. That, Nick. The game has changed. It's expanded so much. Sean Kemp's career, everybody, if you weren't like a superstar, which I don't think Sean Kemp was, like he was a big star, but he wasn't like a superstar.
Don't break my heart now.
Because in the Jordan era, a lot of
forgotten players.
Yeah, a
Forgotten
lot of players get lost in translation because it was Jordan's era. And Jordan kind of just ran through that era. Like, you see what I'm saying? And people just forgot about certain players and how good certain players and certain teams were. Like, people forgot that the Indiana Pacers were really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that team was really, really good. It's just that you had to play Jordan in Eastern Conference Finals every
There's a lot of
single
teams.
year.
The Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks were good too. That's when the Knicks were like had their glory, of course, back in the 70s as well. But the Knicks were a very good team, but a lot of players get forgotten because, like John Starks dunked on Jordan. A lot of people don't know that. But John Starks was a very good player. Mark Jackson, very good player. And a lot of good players get lost in translation because guess what? Jordan just ran through the 90s like crazy.
I seen something about Muggsy Bogues, who I always loved, East
Coast,
Charlotte.
Oh.
But he was actually, I was watching something on Facebook, again, those highlights, that Muggsy was saying that Michael Jordan was such a bad trash talker, or a good trash talker, that in a game against Jordan, he downed him so much about his height and all this stuff.
I want to say I know about that story.
That that's pretty much, that game hurt his career. Like he said, it hurt me so bad. Like it hurt his soul. I'm like, wow. Like, what does that dude say? Well, I say that dude, talk about Michael Jordan. What did the king, the real king, not the fake one, LeBron. What did Michael Jordan say to him? Like,
you're going to lose all the Laker fans.
Yeah, that's fine. Come at me, guys. I do not like LeBron James. But anyways, like Muggsy Bogues, 5'3", and the moves he could do and the passes, I mean, he was a highlight reel. And still, like, he was probably a forgotten player as well. Only reason why people knew him because he was 5'3", but the fact that Michael Jordan talked him down in his career, that is amazing.
Oh, poor Muggsy.
Poor Muggsy.
Yeah,
Muggs, come on the show. We need to hear about this.
So there you go with the shout outs. See, I'm
trying.
I'm rubbing off on you. But Sean Kemp's career, I'm gonna ask you this question, Nick. If Sean Kemp was not in Seattle, do you think he could have been bigger?
It depends on where he would land. Like if he was at like a bigger market per se, like maybe the Lakers per se. I know the Lakers were kind of average around those times, but like. Having a guy like Sean Kemp, who was like one of the best dunkers around that time, that would have really put them like as far like that probably would have like elevated them as like possibly like a better playoff contender, or maybe even like one of those Eastern Conference teams that the Bulls were facing against, like maybe the Knicks, maybe the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Like it may depend because I mean like Seattle was also a good team as well, but they also had to face their battles against teams like Phoenix. I want to say they faced Houston in the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure, but so yeah, I mean, just them having
Utah was good during that time too.
Utah as well. So just Sean Kemp being in like Seattle and like not being able to like get over that hump. I think that possibly may have affected his career as well, and also playing alongside Gary Payton, who was an All-Star as well.
Oh yeah, Gary Payton was the glove. No.
I mean, even saying that, I didn't even think of it that way. Like Michael Jordan, great. Scottie Pippen, we know is great, but Scottie Pippen was second. Scottie Pippen on another team would have been the superstar.
Yep. Everyone
that knew the Supersonics knew Gary Payton first.
Yeah.
So I mean, that probably hurt him a little bit. I just sitting there thinking it'd been nice to see him with Alonzo Mourning down in Miami. I think that would have been nice as a 4 or 5 because 4 or 5 back then, I mean, they weren't what they are now, and you could actually play basically 2 5s. Trying to think what other team would have been nice to have him on.
Let me think. What teams were decent enough
in the 90s?
In the 90s.
All I can see is what was it? Sam Smith, I think it was that was on the Pacers.
What about maybe with Shaq in Orlando?
Yeah, with Penny. Yeah, Penny, Shaq, and Kemp.
Man,
nice.
they'd had like 6 goals just waiting in the back room. Like, okay, go ahead and break one. Let's get this out of here.
We got to back up to your backup. We're just going to do that.
The Pistons. I mean,
the Pistons.
Shout out Bill for hopping on here, Bill.
That'd have been nice to see him in a bigger market. That's why I asked that question because a lot of players are forgetting about because they're in smaller markets, and it didn't help that Jordan just ran through the 90s like crazy. So, in order for some of these players to get noticed, they would have to be in a bigger market. I love Sean Kemp. I even bought his shoes, his Reeboks, back in the day.
Ooh,
they got re-released. They got re-released, and I hooped in them again. So in college, so I was like, hey, you know, I love me some Sean Kemp. I think I even had his jersey at one point. So I know Sean Kemp, but I'm a basketball, not even a fan. I'm a savant. I would call myself a basketball savant because I study the game, pay attention to the game. But your casual basketball fan be like, Sean Kemp, and you show them highlights, and they're like, oh, like he plays like Zion or something like that. You'd be like, no, Zion plays like him. Like you gotta
hold up.
Wait a minute, time out. You know, these new school generation, it's something about
I'm trying to picture a healthy Grant Hill and Sean Kemp on the same team.
Ooh,
man.
Yeah.
That would have been
really nice.
Keyword healthy.
That would have been fire. Is that what they say now?
Yeah, that would have been fire. There you go, Michael.
I'm trying. Shout out Connie. I'm trying my best. He always says I'm a cap or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. we're in our 30s, and we just some of this stuff lingo. I've had to Google some stuff.
He's just salty. I'm just giving him the tea,
bro. I can't imagine having kids. I can't imagine like whenever I have kids and then they're just like, oh my God, like you don't know nothing or something like that. Like
listen,
I would feel like so out of place.
I can't wait
till my kids grow up.
Like I don't want them to be teenagers because it's going to be rough. I got 2 daughters and a son. I know it's going to be rough, but at the same time, I can't wait to embarrass him. I see something on TikTok all the time with this girl running to her car. She's like probably like 8th, 10th grade, somewhere in that area. And all of a sudden, as she's coming to the car, her dad blasts some kind of music. She just like turns around, walk away. Like, that is going to be me. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I mean, kids,
I'm going to be
beautiful.
Chill. I got this. Chill.
I mean, I get lost in translation sometimes. I have to look some of this stuff up on Google that they're talking about. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, listen, I'm a different age. I don't understand some of this stuff.
This might be a little inappropriate. Sorry for our fans out here listening to this. I didn't know there was a such thing as DILF. I'd never heard DILF before in my life.
Wow.
But instead of moms, it's dads. I love The Circle. Shout out The Circle on Netflix. You should watch it out. It's crazy. A little bit of language for my fans out there on that, but overlook it. But they said DILF the other day because there's actually a catfish, spoiler alert. There's a woman on there playing a single dad, and his picture has a daughter with him, but it's actually her husband that she's pretending to be. And some of the fans like, oh my, I got your little daughter there. You're a DILF. I'm like, what's a DILF? I was like, that sounds like MILF.
But
is that a thing?
A DILF and a sugar daddy is kind of probably be the same thing because it's just an older man that wants a younger lady.
I guess.
I don't know where this conversation is going.
All right.
The only thing, a sugar daddy's got money. If a DILF has a child, probably ain't got no money.
Well, you know, either way, we're sorry. This is what we do, Nick.
We killed the bucket. Nick said, I don't know where this is going, guys.
But you know, I really do appreciate parents out there, and I really do appreciate people that keep up with the times because I am trying to keep up with the times. It's hard for me to do, but with basketball, a lot of players, how do I say this? A lot of the younger generation does not watch the game of basketball. They like, oh yeah, I watch the Lakers play, but they don't really watch it. It's too much 2K. This is what I can do on 2K. Like I'm playing pickup basketball with teenagers and like, that's not a travel. Dude, you took a step before you put the ball on the ground. That's a travel. I don't care how many times you see LeBron do it on ABC. That is a travel.
Hey, NBA rules are forever different from like street basketball or like playground basketball or whatever.
Yes. I don't get it. I don't understand the younger generation. I'm trying to understand the younger generation because I play pickup with them a lot of times. So I have to kind of grasp their understanding of basketball, my understanding of basketball. They don't understand how to move without the basketball. They don't understand how to cut.
They don't know you say backdoor to them. They're like, whoa, what?
What?
No. That's a basketball term. Calm down.
You get layups from that. You know what I mean? But they want to shoot threes from everywhere and play no defense. And not pass the ball. It is frustrating.
Since we're ranting here, I can't stand the one pass 5 feet behind the 3-point line gun. Like that is not how you play basketball. Yes, that might be how they do it on the NBA. but they're making it. You know, I'm sorry. You ain't got no autographs that's being sold for $50. You don't have no shoe endorsements. You're going to pass that ball a little bit, okay? Or next time you stand at me at the inbounds after somebody makes it, I'm going to throw it to half court to somebody else if they're not even looking. You ain't getting the ball. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes.
It's frustrating, Nick.
Or a pickup, you don't even throw it in. You just dribble in. It's like, no, I'm not throwing you. I'm going.
You know what's funny about this? Like, I just recently watched the Shaq episode on All the Smoke, and they were talking about, you know, Steph Curry and everything. And Shaq was basically explaining like Steph Curry kind of like really changed the game, like in a good way, in a bad way. Just because like nowadays, you see kids like they don't want to do layup lines or anything. Like they just want to shoot half court shots. And it's like, I don't know, like for me growing up, like, you know, we were not allowed to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were not just allowed to just go out there, step back and do whatever. Like our coach would have been furious. But that basically just reminded me of that.
It shows you how much of the game of basketball has changed. The game of basketball has changed so much that kids are not, even Kobe Bryant said, kids are not learning the fundamentals of basketball anymore.
No. Like we even said this, like I think our very first show we ever did, Amber. Like nobody shoots a left-handed or right-handed layup the correct way.
No,
like
they want to
constantly
like
all scoop layups and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like
it kills me when they do a reverse. Like if they go for a reverse instead of like coming like this way with it, they'll like turn their whole body to try to use their dominant hand. I'm like, man, you're making it way complicated. Just this side or this side. Yeah, like we was always told. Shoestring tied from your elbow to your knee. When your arm goes up, your knee goes up with it. Like it's whatever side.
I like that.
But that's how the game is. It's all offense. It's all offensive oriented now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the game is focusing on.
And it's even focusing on that in the NBA. Like the defense can't do anything. Like you can't. There's no more hand checking, which I get that. I understand that. I was playing pickup basketball on Friday, and this guy rolled me all the way. I'm dribbling with my right hand, and he just rolled me with his arm bar like all the way to the sideline. I'm like, I don't call fouls, but you can't ride me all the way. If I do the same thing to you, you're gonna call a foul. He said, I don't see where the foul is. You're not playing defense. You're supposed to slide your feet and move with me. Yes or no? Yes, because if I smack your arm bar down, then you're gonna say something about it, aren't you? So I don't argue.
Better not.
I just don't. Speaking of, go ahead.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking. You just took me back to high school so much right then. Like, okay, I mean, I'm going to be as real, and sorry if I say something out there. Just say, hold up, Michael, okay?
It's all right.
Where I live, more white people than black. Where I went to high school was more black people. I've never been to this area where coal mines, it was actually, you know, divided up, separated, and all that stuff as the times went through. Went to this place and there's a social club where we had the gym, and that's where I learned how to play defense. I mean, the way that they play defense, like you said, like there was bleachers, and there's many times that I was going for a layup and somehow I got rerouted straight to the bleachers, and they're like, "Oh, do you want that foul?" I'm like, "No, I don't. That was all clean. Let's go on." But that taught me toughness, you know. And then I started learning that's how you play. You know, if you want to earn a basket, you might bleed a little bit. You know, it made me tough. And we actually ended up winning 13th region here. You know, just throwing that out there. But I enjoyed it. But man, it was rough starting out because I was like, "Oh gosh, they're like fouling me every time," but I am not saying anything about it because. It was always defense. Like when we would play, be like, "Oh man, I got you." You know, go ahead, take it back up top. You know, like let's still be friends. You know, oh, I might have touched you a little bit. Defense, I got him. Take it out. As soon as I went down there, first time I called my own foul on defense, you're like, "No, we don't do that here. You let the offense call it. If they want that pancake foul, they'll say it. But if not, we gonna be tough." I'm like,
"Yeah, we gonna ride it out."
I'm sorry. Like my teammate almost punched me because I called a foul on defense. Like, no, that's not what we do. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Let's not be friends. Let's win. Let's go.
So, the rules are different everywhere you play. Because if you play with younger generation, they don't know how to play through contact. Older generation will play through contact. Younger generation, you barely hit them. If I hit you, I'm a female. If I smack you in your arm and you can't go up and finish, then you shouldn't be out here playing basketball. That's just how I feel. If you get the ball on the rim, my coach told me if you get the ball on the rim, you should be able to finish it, right? Now, granted, NBA players are stronger, and when you grab them by their shoulders, they're still able to get it on the rim. But that shouldn't deter you from making a layup. I just, it's I'm over it. Even though I'm gonna go play again tomorrow, I'm over it.
I think people also just gotta have more pride on the end of the floor. Because I mean, I'm thinking about like when I play, like I didn't like getting scored on like 3-4 times in a row. So
oh yeah, me neither.
like if I had a guy that I was guarding and they had the hot hand, I'm looking to stop you like however possible.
Anyway,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Did
that just was
you?
not my thing. Yeah.
Listen, my brother, it used to make me so mad. He's 6'5", and like he's a tank, but he'd love to shoot threes. And I never understood it. Like if you're 6'5", I don't care, you're going to the post. But he could drain threes. Like he was a dead eye shot outside. And one time, me being the youngest brother, I didn't care. Like I knew he's gonna get mad at me, but he ain't gonna do nothing about it because I'm the baby brother. Mama, he's coming at me. So he hit 2 threes right in my eye, and I said, you know what? I don't care. My forearm is going through his face on this next shot because he ain't making it. As soon as he went up, I hit that elbow, went straight through his face. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, I didn't mean to. And then as we ran back down the court, I was like, "Man, you made two to my face. I'm not letting you get a third one." Never made another one that whole game. It happens. You get gun shy when you do that.
Yeah, you make them think about it. But this player right here, I love him.
Back on topic.
Oh yeah,
I love him. And Russ.
I'm so glad we having this topic.
Yes, good, Russ being Russ. Well, go ahead, Nick. You can start it off. Russ is being Russ. What are your thoughts about Russell and what he accomplished tonight?
Well, I'm happy that he's healthy. I'll say that, and I'm honestly happy that people are starting to really recognize that he's still one of the great players in the NBA today. Because obviously earlier in the season when the Wizards were struggling and Westbrook was hurt, people were starting to write him off saying, "Oh, he's washed up. He's not going to be in the league much longer." And for him to be going on a tear like this, I didn't expect it like this. But the fact that he's doing it and continuing to play at a high level and also being a leader, helping the Wizards get into that playing tournament is just remarkable. So they just beat Indiana tonight, which I'm really happy. That was a really good win for them, even though Bradley Beal didn't play in overtime. But the Wizards got momentum on the side right now. I think they have like one of the they have had like one of the easiest schedules over the last like few weeks, and they're going to continue to ride that going into the playing tournament.
All right, Michael, your thoughts?
I'm going to take this moment. Russell, I apologize. Wow. I have not thought that you were that good of a player. I don't like your style. I feel like you're selfish. But you should be talked in the MVP this year. You are averaging a triple-double. You could not score another point, get another rebound, or throw another assist for the rest of the year, and you would still average a triple-double for the rest of the year. I apologize. I mean, do you guys not agree with that, though? How are we not even talking about him as the MVP? He is averaging a triple-double.
It's probably because the Wizards are like so like below in the Western or not, sorry, the Eastern Conference standings per se, right. And it's like it's hard to put him in that same conversation as Jokic, Embiid, Randall, Chris Paul, like a lot of these guys. But I mean, I definitely believe that he'll possibly be All NBA second team when it's all said and done.
Second team,
possibly second. I mean, like
it's a lot of guards, man.
Who are you gonna put ahead of him in the first team though?
I mean.
Probably Dame, Steph, and Luka.
But none of them are averaging a triple-double, are they?
That's true.
No, they're not averaging a triple-double, but you have to look at the optics. You know how NBA fans haven't put Giannis in the MVP conversation because they're tired of him winning it, probably? Mm-hmm. Even though his numbers suggest he probably should be in there. What's going on, Perry?
What's up, Perry?
Even though his numbers suggest he should probably be in MVP, probably be in your top 5, Giannis should be. But the NBA wants to spice it up. They give us Luka every other night for the Dallas Mavericks. And you know what I mean? It's just they had Luka preseason MVP. You know what I mean? So they give us as many Dallas Mavericks games as possible and give us little Utah games, little Suns games. I know I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. But the reason why
tonight, it's fine.
reason why is Russ is doing something that he's doing. He's not doing something out of the ordinary for him. Now, people say if it was that easy, everybody could do it. Yeah, if it was that easy, everybody can do it, but only Russ can do it, in my opinion. And I think he's going to probably, this is a hot take, I think he'll probably, before his career is over, almost reach 300 triple-doubles. Almost. Because he's
right now he's at 181.
181.
Yeah, I mean, and he just makes it seem like this is a nightly occurrence. Like Kevin Durant scoring 20 points a game, Russ getting a triple-double. It's a nightly occurrence. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why, fellas, is because he's doing it so often and people are not respecting it. But I will say if Washington was in that top 4 in the East, I think he probably would get some respect for MVP.
That's why I don't necessarily like MVPs. And I'm sorry I'm being this way, but the true most valuable player hardly ever really wins this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In some cases they do, some cases they don't. It just really depends.
More cases than not, I think. Because Russ, it's a triple-double.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, that is 10 rebounds from a point guard. That's 10 assists from a guy who hardly likes to pass.
But team's impact does play a huge role in having MVP. Because there's a thing like,
I agree.
You can even look back to you can even look back to like 2006 when Steve Nash won and people were saying, oh, Kobe should have won it because Kobe averaged like 36 that year. But at the end of the day, Kobe's team was like 7th or 8th in the West, and the Suns were like number 1 or number 2. Yeah. So even though Kobe may have been that better player, Nash was impacting his team a lot better than what Kobe was doing, unfortunately.
So why isn't Booker, Chris Paul, or Mitchell on this list then? I mean, they're up there, but they're not the 1, 2,
Chris
or 3.
Paul's on my list.
Well, airless, but I mean, we're not the NBA. You know, it's either going to be Joker or Embiid right now, and neither one. Well, I mean, Embiid is on a 1-seeded team here, but
the Joker's impact though on if you take Joker off the Nuggets, they are who's their offense
trash.
Run through them.
They're trash right now
because he runs their offense. Like he literally
just about
runs their offense. So you take him off the Nuggets, it's kind of like who's your point guard?
To me, who's going to win it right now is going to be the Joker.
Oh, the Joker's going to win it. I don't have a problem with winning it.
Right.
But what Russ is doing is so unprecedented to everybody else, but it's so common for him. And then Washington had their rough start. He wasn't healthy. His quad, I think he said he played with like a torn quad at the beginning of the year, which I said that from the beginning that he was not healthy. He got healthy. Him and Bradley built chemistry together. Yes, Thomas Bryant. I love Thomas Bryant. I was watching him in Summer League. He went out in probably around January, I want to say, which is early in the season because the season started around Christmas. And then Rui's been out some games. They just kind of had to plug in players. You know what I mean? And Danny Avasia broke his something with his. I didn't want to.
Shout out to Daniel Gafford. Shout out to him. He's been killing it.
Gafford's been playing very, very well for them. Big energy guy, huge energy guy, and you need that in the playoffs. I would not want to play the Wizards in a play-in game. No.
Russell, again, as the point guard, had 19 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's not stat padding because Russell's 6'3". 6'3",
that is crazy.
and a half, maybe.
And he's strong.
And he's strong as heck.
He's definitely banging down there.
I mean, look out, the man is chiseled. He's just built.
Oh,
I've seen him close up in person because of the games. No, I'm just saying, like
look how
you talking about
he
lean.
is. He's no Devin Booker. Let me just get that out there, okay?
Oh, we have to tell you this quick story real quick.
Oh God.
On topic, we're gonna tell you this quick story. So Michael said that he thinks that Devin Booker's a handsome man, and I agree.
He is.
We talked about this with Aaron last week.
Do you not think so? He's a handsome man.
I'll agree.
It's like I want to listen. I already read his mind. He's sitting there thinking, "Yeah, he is," but
it's funny because like I've never really thought about that, to be honest, when I look at Devin Booker. But I mean, I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah,
you can't.
You know, he said, Michael said, "There's nothing wrong with that face." I said, "Okay." You know what? I'll let Michael have his moment because that's what we do here on Count the Bucket. We just let everybody have their moment. But Russell is doing something that I think he'll get close to 300.
Come on. I mean, look at that.
Devin Booker honestly looks like somebody, but I can't name him off the top of my head. Like he looks like somebody that's like famous, somebody else. I just can't name him. I don't know who.
Isn't he dating Kylie Jenner? Is he dating which one?
Let's not put that jinx out there. Let's not.
He is dating her though. I'm sorry, Michael, but he's taken.
Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But we talked about Devin Booker. I think Chris Paul's impact of leadership is helping the Suns be good. But I told people, I said this. You can go back and check the tape from before the bubble or after the bubble. I said the Suns are going to ride this wave all the way into next season. No, they're not. They're the Phoenix Suns. Da, 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 da. I said, okay, all right. I need to find that tape because I'm going to play it. And I said the Phoenix Suns will ride their momentum. And look what they've done. They ride their momentum. Now, I do think they would have been a better team if DeAndre Ayton didn't get suspended.
Yes, definitely. They started out last season really hot. I want to say they won like 8 of their first 11 games.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, I think so. Spicy Queso, we're going to talk about the Lakers at the end of the show. Okay, Spicy Queso.
You know where they're going to be coming in.
I know
at the end.
I know you guys are ready for those Lakers comments. All right, let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something that's really funny to me that the GM said this. Zion's injury. Have you guys heard about?
I saw it, and I don't understand it. I really don't. I want to say something like we failed Zion, and I'm like, doesn't he have like a fractured finger or something like that? Like you're making it sound like he tore his ACL or ruptured his Achilles, something like that. Like Zion's gonna be fine. And at the end of the day, I mean, the Pelicans are not making the playing tournament. The season is basically a wrap for them. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm not too concerned with Zion right now. I mean, all they need to focus on is gearing up for next season. Hopefully, go on a good run. Stan Van Gundy did a decent job throughout this season as head coach. So just basically, all they need to do is just gear up for next season.
Are they gonna re-sign Lonzo? That's a good question.
I don't know. I mean, Lonzo has played well. He has played well.
Yeah. Because they did sign Brandon Ingram, right? They did sign Brandon Ingram. Mm-hmm. So that next big money, how much money is Zoe gonna want per year? I wonder.
Is his contract up already? Because he's like played 10, 15 games.
Yeah, his contract's up. Zoe's is. Zoe's contract is up. He came in with the same class as
Tatum
and all them.
Yeah.
And Tatum's already got his contract. So yeah, it's Campazzo. Okay, Campazzo, they are beating the brakes off of Brooklyn. But Campazzo just hit that from Curry range. But I really want to see Zion. To me, here's my thoughts on Zion. I could have a rant about Zion, but I'm not going to do it. People didn't give him time. People just threw him in the fire.
Thank you.
And put him. I think that social media had a lot to do with that as well. They just threw him in the fire. Boom. Zion, here's what you're going to be. They put a lot of pressure on him to be great early. They put so much pressure on him. The ESPN was playing the Pelicans games. Like, I don't want to see them get blown out by the Warriors by 20 on a Marvel game. Like, that was lackluster basketball for me. Speaking of that Marvel game, Mike only watched 1/4 of it and I was done. I just could not watch it. If your team's not good enough, you should not get that many games on ESPN. I'm sorry. It just, at the beginning of the season, all you saw was the Pelicans. Now, the second half of the season, all you see is the Mavericks. So they're trying to push this narrative instead of showing us more Ja Morant, more Trae Young, more RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle, more Hornets games. And that's why people aren't watching basketball, because you keep putting the same product on TV. I say this every single show. I'm sorry, guys. It's just how I feel. But they're saying that it's the league's fault that Zion hurt his finger. I'm like, dude, get over it.
Injuries are a part of the game
of basketball. Your team underachieved. Get over it. What are you going to do with Zoe? Because as that team is currently constructed in the West, they will probably not make the playoffs in the next, 2-3 years? Because you got to think Memphis is on the rise. Portland's going to be doing what they're doing. Denver's on the rise. They're a young team, but are they better than Memphis? No.
Mm-mm.
So you look at those young teams in the West fighting for playoff spots. The Suns, they're in the playoffs now. They got some veterans, but they're a young team. Utah is still they're led by a young superstar in Mitchell. So where do we see the Pelicans in the next couple of years, guys? What do we see with that?
I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now and the teams under the Pelicans. You know, you got the Kings that are even looking nice. I mean, obviously they're 12 seed,
Fox.
but Fox. I mean, I didn't throw the Kentucky guy out there, but yes, Fox. I mean, I think the Kings looked improved this year from last year, and they're going to continue to do that. Timberwolves, like we don't know what we're going to expect from them, with
Yeah.
the Rookie of the Year. There we go.
Channel Spicy Queso. Thank you. I
don't think the Pelicans really improved too much more. Like, I actually think that the Kings will be better than them next year. And I do think Timberwolves possibly could be, but I don't want to put them too high because Edwards looks nice, Rookie of the Year right there.
He might. He's going to be in a battle. And I think
I'm going to go off topic real quick.
Go ahead.
So Anthony Edwards has had a good season. We can all agree on that. Considering that LaMelo has missed like the last few weeks or so and it's just not returned, do y'all possibly see Edwards winning that Rookie of the Year over LaMelo?
LaMelo earns it, or should be his, but I do think
LaMelo is my Rookie of the Year, but Anthony Edwards has played well. He has played well throughout this year.
But the Hornets are in the playoffs, and they're not in the play.
That's true. They're in the
playoffs. They're in the playoffs.
Does that matter in the Rookie of the Year?
It should, because when Melo's team had more wins than the Cleveland Cavs, I thought Melo should have won Rookie of the Year with LeBron. A lot of people did that year they first came in the league. It was, I thought Melo should have won it, but it was a close Rookie of the Year. This Rookie of the Year, I think LaMelo should win it, but I think Anthony Edwards is going to be number 2.
Definitely.
He will get some votes, though. He will.
My personal opinion is LaMelo made Charlotte as a rookie.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That to me is the deciding factor. Can't hardly speak there. Edwards is just a piece on that team that's playing great. Cat's the team. We know that. But LaMelo, they've got some good players, but LaMelo put them on the map. So that's why I think LaMelo should still get it. But I think Edwards has a chance to win it this year where LaMelo was hurt.
Yeah, I just think that when you're thinking about Rookie of the Year, I don't know if wins matter that much because you're a rookie and you're not expected to, you know what I mean? Because I had James Wiseman because I thought he would have a huge impact on Golden State because it was going to be so simple and so easy for him, and then he got hurt. He probably wouldn't have a conversation if he didn't get hurt because of the way Golden State plays and how they run their bigs and things like that. His job would have just been so simple. And you saw it. You saw the growth of James Wiseman throughout the year when Steve Kerr let him go, of course. But Steve Kerr was so stingy with his system. He didn't want to let Wiseman go.
Don't get me started.
There we go again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I really like what LaMelo has done for the Hornets. They're going to be an exciting team to watch in the playoffs. I also like what Anthony Edwards is doing for the Timberwolves. I like it both, but I do think that LaMelo will win it. All right, switching gears.
Let me ask this. I'm going to stay on this one more question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Next year, 2022, who do you have finishing the season? I won't say playoffs, just going with season. Higher, the Hornets or the Celtics?
It depends, man.
The Hornets or the Celtics? Who do you think finishes better next year?
Oh, go ahead.
Because the Celtics are going to have to shake up their roster. Like, they're going to have a huge offseason because they have not shown any improvements throughout this year. And I know they've had different lineup changes. Kemba was hurt throughout the first part of the season. Marcus Smart missed time. Jason Tatum had COVID. So they've definitely had a lot of lineups and probably not a lot of time to like build chemistry with one another. But I'm just gonna be honest. This team is really not that great, honestly. And it sucks to say because Tatum is having a really good year. Brown's having a really good year. And I don't know. I think Brad Stevens is definitely on the hot seat. Even though I don't really think that I don't think that he will get fired, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But yeah, Danny Ainge is really gonna have to have a really good offseason to help this Celtic team improve going into next season.
Because the East is getting younger, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
The East is getting a lot younger, and the West is older, of course. It's gonna be funny. I say this. You get LaMelo in year 2. I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte can go out and get Drummond. I think they could go out and get him. They can afford him.
He should have already been there.
Yeah, but he wants to win a ring now. I
understand.
He wants to win a ring now. And with the Celtics, I don't know. It's a big dumpster fire with the Celtics right now. And Danny Ainge has been, deemed one of the best GMs in the league. but he didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. Kemba Walker when is he playing? What is his knees doing? He can't play back-to-backs. When he plays, he scores like 30. And sometimes games he plays, he scores like 9. That inconsistency from Kemba Walker this year has just thrown me off. Not going to go get a big man. I like Robert Williams a lot, but losing Daniel Tice hurt.
Yeah.
I like Daniel Tice. I did, but of course, you had to let him go for reasons that we don't know. Teague.
I tell you, go ahead.
Teague, I like that pickup in the offseason, but of course he's moved on. I wanted to see Pritchard get more minutes. Naismith's got more minutes.
Pritchard's a dog.
Pritchard's a dog on defense. I like what Pritchard can bring, and he can knock down shots. And he's smart with the basketball. Very, very smart with the basketball. A 4-year player. I love my 4-year players. I like Aaron Nesmith a lot.
Aaron Nesmith. He's brought a lot of energy.
Yes, he does. And he can shoot that ball. He can shoot that ball, and he can play some pretty darn good defense. Now, I got a question for you guys. It's a quick question. Do you let Marcus Smart go to let Nesmith grow?
I love Marcus Smart. I think he is the backbone. He is the Danny Green. I'm sorry, Draymond Green of this team.
Yeah.
After I said Danny, I'm like, wait a second, no.
But you gotta look at age, and you gotta look at money. You know what I mean? You gotta look at money and age. So that's why I asked that question. What you think, Nick?
It's a tough decision because the Celtics are still relatively young, so they are able to do it, but they do want to remain in that championship contention per se. So keeping Smart would be the best move, especially what he brings on the defensive end, as far as and also him having that playoff experience with that team also helps a lot. So if you're looking to continue to be in that championship contention in the years coming, then I would say you keep Marcus Smart. But if you are looking to start fresh and start new with a brand new young team, then I would say and then you will want to build around Aaron Nesmith.
Okay, I posed that question because I thought about it. I thought about what Nesmith brings and what Marcus Smart brings. But Marcus Smart just is a different type of animal. But Nesmith does bring a 3-and-D type of concept. And he's basically getting Marcus Smart's minutes, I guess you want to say, or whatever minutes Marcus Smart would get. If Marcus Smart left, I think Nesmith would get those minutes because of his role, what his role would be with the team. That's why I posed that question. Moving on, staying in the Eastern Conference, who do we trust more out of the 76ers, Nets, or the Bucks? Who do you guys trust more? This is tough. Oh my God. This is real tough because the Nets are getting mollywopped right now.
Yeah, they are. I want to say Brooklyn just because if you have so basically if you have those 3 guys, Kyrie, KD, James Harden healthy, there's obviously nobody that's going to be the team. And also they have great supporting cast, Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, obviously DeAndre Jordan started at the center spot, Joe Harris. So, they have a great supporting cast alongside their 3 superstars. So that's why I'm saying, if Brooklyn is 100% healthy going into the postseason, then I don't see anybody beating them. Now, the Sixers, per se, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Danny Green, if you want to say, Seth Curry, a lot of those guys. Philadelphia's had a pretty solid season, so they definitely have a good shot if Embiid continues to play at that level, if Simmons can continue to play at that level, bring that energy on the defensive end. And as far as Milwaukee's decent for me, but they have their inconsistencies on the defensive end. I don't know why, but I feel like that's really what's hurting them. Maybe you could say because Jrue Holiday has missed time, so they haven't had that defensive anchor on the team. But that's possibly the one thing that's possibly holding Milwaukee back from possibly landing a spot in the NBA Finals. It's just those inconsistencies on the defensive end, per se.
Spicy Queso said the Nets or the Bucks in his opinion. Go ahead, Michael.
I kind of agree with him. And the Nets, we know who they are. I mean, let's be honest. We know when you say Nets, there's 18 guys that you just named that are all-stars at some point of their life. So you about have to trust that. Everyone still thinks they're going to be in the finals. No matter what happens, they're still somehow going to be in the finals because of their repertoire. Ooh, I said a big word. But the back of I don't know, I guess in my gut, I've been against this my whole life almost with Ember. I almost want to trust the Bucks because no one's talking about them.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they're not the sexy team anymore. Like the past 2-3 years, it's Bucks, playoff time, nothing. Well, they probably got a chip on their shoulder. All they're hearing is Philadelphia is doing all this and the Nets. Well, hold up. What happened to us? We did add Drew Holiday, who I think will help them out tremendously when it comes defense, half-court sets, and playoff-style basketball. I mean, they've won, I want to say, 4 of their last games. The Nets have, lost 18 of their last 18 games. Obviously, I'm exaggerating there. It's 4 games. But the 76ers have won 8 straight. The 76ers are almost now – they're just a team that's just rolling. They know what they're doing. They're good. They're a nice, well-oiled vessel or something they say. I don't know. So I want to say 76ers because I feel like right now that's the right answer to say. They're 8 in a row, so you have to trust them. The Nets probably still ain't played 15 games total full strength. So we still don't know what to expect by them.
They've only played 7 games with Kyrie, Harden, and KD in the lineup. It's crazy.
And that's the team. 7 games, that's it. So that almost actually raises a red flag with me in a way. Whoa, man, the potential is so there. But at the same time, they haven't played 7 games together. So that almost makes me hinder trusting the Nets a little bit. So I'm going to go with the unsexy answer. I'm going to say the Bucks, even though they are my Gonzaga team of the NBA. They haven't proved anything. So Bucks prove me wrong. Shout out Milwaukee. Come at me. Let's go. I got your back here. I'm going to go with Milwaukee. There's no eyes on them. That's what I like about it. So
that's dangerous.
I'm going to go with them.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
how do I feel about all 3 of these teams have question marks, right? Philly hasn't been able to get over the hump, but they did have Brett Brown as a coach. They now have Doc Rivers. How will Doc Rivers fare in there's some big difference. How will they fare in the playoffs? The Nets, they haven't been healthy. They got a rookie head coach. And how will their chemistry play in the playoffs? With the Bucks, we know the Bucks MO. They got bounced in the second round by Miami, which I called that last year because Eric Spoelstra knows how to play Giannis. If you know how to play Giannis, you can beat the Bucks. Mm-hmm. Can Chris Middleton give you 30 when Giannis can only give you 20? No.
But with Drew Holiday on the team now, he possibly still can because Drew's going to get some of that and relieve him a little bit. I'm not saying 30.
Yeah, you got to be he's just not a killer like that to me. Your second scoring option in the NBA right now needs to be a killer.
I agree, and I also think that's what's wrong with the Celtics right now. Their best two guys are a B. They're the Robins, but we've got 2 Robins on the team, and I love Tatum, and I think he's there. But I'm waiting for him, and I know I just went way back circle there. He needs to make that jump where Brown is not parallel with him. It needs to be one or the other's team, and we don't know who it is.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick. What were we gonna say?
I was going to say, this is why going into the playoffs, I need Chris Middleton to have a fantastic postseason because just him playing alongside Giannis, he's going to have to really become that killer guy as far as being the second option for Milwaukee.
And if he doesn't, then Milwaukee will not make it out the second round, depending on him. Well, the second round matchup will be Philly. Well, no, it will be the Brooklyn Nets, and you're going to have to score points against the Brooklyn Nets to beat them.
Can you bring up the playoffs right now, what it would look like? Can you share your screen?
I can definitely do that. Let's do that. I can share my screen. But all 3 teams have question marks. That's why I want to raise that question to you fellas tonight because there's just so much that ties into winning games in the playoffs. I don't know what you guys are doing these days, but I can't see.
What's going on?
I'm looking at things. I had no idea Brooklyn became the 3 seed now. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're the 3 seed. That's why I said that'd be a second round matchup would be Brooklyn.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Let me share that screen. Yep.
They're falling like the Lakers. Oh wait, what?
Oh God. Matt, don't leave us.
Matt is gonna have a fun-filled day. Okay, guys, can you see this or do I need to blow it up? Can you guys see that?
I'm gonna blow it up on my screen. So if somebody leaves a comment, I'm probably not gonna see it. Ooh, baseball. Reds had a no-hitter yesterday, just throwing that out there. Shout out Cincy. No. She's like, I'm not sharing baseball. Forget that, guys. I'm out.
I appreciate that. Albert Pujols was let go by the Angels. That kind of hurt me a little bit.
That really did. They did him wrong.
So wrong. All right, guys, here's the screen. All right, can you guys see that? Can you see that, Nick, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
I think actually I was looking at this at work today. If you go over to, I want to say there's a playoff one that actually shows like the brackets where they'd be at.
Okay, so the
you're on
play-ins-
ESPN. I went NBA. I went NBA.com. It might be different.
Okay, let me go to NBA.com then. Let me do that then. Stand by, guys. We are pulling up some stuff for you. Because I know who would be playing who, but we can do that. We can.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize.
No. This is what we came to do. The play-in tournament was our next topic. Let's get into that.
I'm so upset too. I'm out of water.
Okay. Do you guys know the rankings of the teams?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if it'll bring it up. Okay, if you guys know the rankings of the there it was. I had it. I had it. Yeah. There we go. You guys see it?
No.
It's not up here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sharing my screen.
You got to share. You're being stingy.
I'm being selfish. I'm sorry, guys.
Apparently,
all right.
I collect pens up here too.
And notebooks. Pens and notebooks. All right, guys. Can you see that?
There we go. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So this is the current play-in tournament. What it looks like. Whew, that's heavy. That's real heavy. So what are you guys thinking here?
That Celtics Hornets game is going to be really interesting. Honestly, if Boston's not careful, they're going to find themselves out. I'm not going to lie.
Well, the good thing where they're at, they can lose to Charlotte and still get in at the 8th
seed. Yeah, that's right.
Which is crazy, but I definitely think.
Do you want to play Washington though?
No.
That's true.
Want to play Washington, because I think Washington's probably going to beat Indiana, if this stays the same, of course.
I was going to say, yeah, it's so close. Like I think there's 5 games left, so I mean, we could still have a Charlotte-Indiana first matchup there.
Yeah, and the East is so close. The West is close too. So, what are you guys thinking about this, man? I'm excited. I'm actually excited for the play-in tournament because it's one and done, like college. So if you have an off night
in our NBA chat, like everyone was bad mouthing this because LeBron spoke it. Shout out Caleb, where you at, Caleb? And I think it is more excited for these playing games than some of these matchups that we've got going on. And that's just myself. Like, I mean, watching. I hate to be this person, but the Knicks in Atlanta for 7 games, like that might not be the best thing to watch, in my opinion. Even though Julius Randle, shout out UK. Big Blue Nation.
Yeah, I want to watch the Knicks in Atlanta.
I know Trey Young, Julius Randle.
I don't.
Young team. The matchups right now look pretty good. The 3-6 in the West.
I will say this. Let me back up a little bit. Atlanta has definitely turned it on since they made their coaching switch, and I just fell off of.
Shout out to Nate McMillan in Indiana. You made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, watching the Knicks would be fun. I'll say that. I'm not a big Trey Young fan.
Okay. That's okay.
I'm stuttering on this. I like Stephen Curry, but I just don't like the cross half court and shoot. I can't stand it.
Fellas got range these days, Michael.
Ain't that the truth? I guess I can't stand it because I was scalded if you come across and never pass the ball and shot anywhere. Like you could have a crossover somebody up and hit and shoot a jump shot and make it be like, yo, you've got to pass the ball at least 1 or 2 times before we even think about shooting. So it just kills me. I'm old school on that.
It's a new day, Michael. It's a new day. I'm embracing it. I'm trying to embrace it as much as possible.
I'm trying. And it's great when they make it from there, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, if you miss, like you're benched in my time. I mean, just like, you don't even like the shots going up. I would be getting yelled at the whole time for the 30 seconds because it'd be half that big of an arch for it to even make it there for me. And then I'm like, oh, it went in. I'd be like, okay, never mind. Can't say a thing to you.
So what's the most intriguing matchup? And don't say Lakers and Golden State.
To me, it's Boston-Charlotte because I think that is just a sweet game there. Mm-hmm. Just even where I was even saying who's going to be better next year. Like this is almost a passing of the torch in my eye of this. Like who is going to be that next step team right there?
Go ahead, Nick.
I even think it'd be nice with the Charlotte Milwaukee matchup too. I think that would be sweet.
I'm gonna definitely agree with the Boston Charlotte matchup, but that Indiana Washington matchup is gonna be really good as well, especially with the way how tonight's game has really had went
overtime.
Mm-hmm. So for them to be able to meet again in that playing tournament with Russ playing at the level he's playing at, and also I mean honestly like they might have that advantage just because Indiana's just so banged up. You know, Miles Turner is out. I want to say Brogdon is out as well. Sabonis is still playing well, but you know you're gonna need more, and you're gonna need more production out of like the other guys. So that'll definitely be a very intriguing matchup to watch.
I'm gonna take it old school. Remember when these teams used to play back in the day? And I'm saying back in the day when I'm talking about grit and grind Memphis and San Antonio used to have those games. That Memphis and San Antonio matchup intrigues me. Not just because I'm a Spurs fan, but it brings back old memories.
Oh, yeah.
When we have Mike Conley and Marc Gasol and Tony Allen, that grit and grind would go against that Spurs team with Ginobili and Parker, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, Tim Duncan. Those matchups would be the best first round. They were so fun to watch. So I think that Memphis and San Antonio could intrigue me. We all know the Lakers and Golden State. We all know that. We're just completely taking that out the picture.
That's going to be the primetime game right there. Honestly.
It will be. It'll be the primetime game. And if the Lakers lose, people will blame it on, LeBron wasn't healthy. Well, LeBron made a whole statement saying that he wasn't going to ever be 100% healthy in his whole career, for the rest of his career. So don't blame us, right? Don't blame us. Golden State's missing. Golden State's missing one of the best shooters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then Kelly Oubre's dealing with his wrist injury. So you can't really – you can say you can blame injuries, yeah, but every team in the NBA has to deal with injuries. Mm-hmm. Every single team has had to deal with them, plug in players, and just go. Every single team. So I want to see Memphis and San Antonio. That would really be interesting for me. It would bring back old Spurs memories for me.
I want to see San Antonio and the Lakers.
Ooh.
I mean,
we want to see Pop go up against LeBron.
For loser go home too.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting game because Pop, I mean, we know he knows how to coach, and he's had many games against LeBron when he's with Miami. So I think that would be fun to watch. And I like
the Spurs, but I like the Spurs, but I don't know about them beating LeBron and AD. I don't know. I just can't see it.
I can't see it either. And I think the only way the Lakers probably don't make the playoff, I don't see them not making the playoffs. Now, could they slip down to that 8th seed and Golden State take that 7?
It's a possibility because I mean their next few games are going to be very hard. They're playing Phoenix tomorrow. Oof. They're playing the Knicks. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who else they're playing after that, but they're playing some really good defensive teams. So with that being said, I mean as far as LeBron, like if he doesn't come back within these next few games, I mean some things can happen.
Yeah, and they played Portland very tough the other night. Very, very tough the other night.
They did.
Portland's playing right now. They're on the back-to-back. So Portland's playing right now. I'm thinking Portland's going to be San Antonio. They're up by 14 right now, which, hurts my soul. But it is what it is. The Lakers, could they slip to that 8? Because Golden State is beating the brakes off of Oklahoma City right now. And Golden State has a really nice schedule to finish it out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing some teams that are not even in consideration. So – and the Lakers are playing teams that are fighting for positioning. Suns want that number 1 seed. I don't care what anybody says. They want that number 1 seed. You got the Suns tomorrow. I think there's no Kyle Kuzma tomorrow. I looked at the injury report. There's no Kyle Kuzma. KCP is questionable. Anthony Davis is questionable. Of course, Schroeder's out with COVID protocol. And Phoenix is going to come out and smack them in their mouth because Phoenix feels disrespected. They really do. So.
Would you rather be in the West 1, 2, or 3 seed? Because you're looking at a possibly Golden State who has been on fire, like we've been saying, and you never know what you're going to get. I mean, Nick, you love Golden State. You know how they are.
They can lose by 20 or win by 30. I mean, they can win by 30 or lose by 30.
Yep.
And then you could have the Lakers against Utah. You could have Golden State against Phoenix or vice versa, those two. I mean – you could have a 1 and 2 seed bounce first round.
I don't think
so.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't. But
okay, let me ask you this: which I think we all know the answer to this. Which one do you think?
I don't want to be 3 and play Portland. I do not want to play Portland in the first round.
Really?
The Clippers.
Do you? Let's just say you can put them wherever you want to. Golden State 7 or 8, Lakers 8 or 7, obviously. Which one does do the upsetting, or do you think both are out?
The Lakers wouldn't be upset if they beat Phoenix.
You don't wouldn't.
It wouldn't be upset. No,
even though they're a 2 seed. Now you're not respecting them.
Just because they got to win the finals.
Mm-hmm. And you got to realize Phoenix is very inexperienced. I mean, I know they got a lot of veterans, but they are mostly inexperienced as well. And then they're going up against, regardless of like where they are in the West, they are still the defending champs in the Lakers. And if LeBron and AD are healthy, everybody is expecting them to go far. So at the end of the day, regardless of where they are at, if they're playing a 2C Phoenix team who has little experience, I just don't see Phoenix being able to overpower a healthy Laker team in a 7-game series.
Well, I guess what I'm saying upset is we're just where they're a 2 and they're a 7. Like technically, by just that, it'd be an upset. Obviously, we still think if 100% Lakers, we're thinking they're winning the whole thing anyways, or in the West.
Maybe,
but we don't think Golden State could upset either one of them.
I don't see them upsetting Phoenix because I think Phoenix have more depth. I like what Phoenix has, and I just don't see Phoenix losing to Golden State.
Yeah.
I don't see that at all. And I don't see Utah losing to Golden State either. As crazy as that may sound, I just do. The way the Utah's playing,
Utah's played really well recently.
Yeah, he had 48 last night. Bogdanovich had 48 points. And Joe Ingles has played very, very well for them.
6 man of the year.
Yeah. So even though Jordan Clarkson, his teammate.
Yeah, he's talking about Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah. But Joe Ingles has played very well for them as well. And those pieces just kind of fit together in Utah. Now, I don't know how far Utah is going to go. But if you ask me if I want to be 1, 2, or 3, I don't want to be 3 if I'm the Clippers because I do not want to play Portland first.
I'm curious,
tough.
What is the timetable on Mitchell's return? You need to figure that out.
I do too.
I think it said a couple weeks. I think there was an update today.
If they can keep him out until the playoffs, that's fine because they're winning right now. They're winning games. So we could keep him out. I know James Harden said he wants to come back before the playoffs started, but I'm not quite sure if he'll do that.
Bradley Beal, hamstring strain today, of course.
Yeah, it's the hamstring is tricky because it has to heal on its own. And then that ankle is, of course, tricky. LeBron showed you that he tried to come back and it just was not happening. So here come the Nets. They're down by 7. They were just down by 20. And if a blink of an eye, they're now down by 7. I really, in the West, I don't want to be the Clippers. I don't want to play Portland first. In the East, I don't want to play Brooklyn first. If I'm Miami.
Oh, no.
If I'm Miami, no. Oh, no. I got to play Brooklyn.
We need that Clippers Portland series, especially after what happened last year. We definitely need that.
I knew you were going to say that, Nick. I knew that was coming.
We need it.
But it's those 3-6 matchups are enticing. They're enticing. I think Brooklyn beats Miami in 5. That Portland Clippers series can go 7. Depends on what kind of 5. I think Miami might get 1, maybe 2. But how are they gonna stop all that scoring for Brooklyn?
That's true.
They may stop it themselves because nobody will get the ball. They've only played 7 games together.
They know how to shut a ball. Trust me. KD doesn't need nothing but 15 shots to score 30 points.
KD don't need the ball, man.
He don't need nothing but 15 shots to score 30 points. I mean, I'm just being completely honest with you. So if I can avoid Brooklyn in the first round, if I'm Miami, I try to. Blake Griffin just hit a 3. Brooklyn down 6. So that's my take on it, guys. You guys can give me your take. But
if you're playing Brooklyn, who do you try to stop? What player? Contain. Let me say contain.
KD, without question. It's got to be KD.
Yeah, you can contain KD, but then if Kyrie gets busy, if James Harden gets busy.
I'm thinking series, though, too. Like, I feel like Kyrie, and I'm probably looking way too much into it. Kyrie, the way he gets his points is so much more effort. Like, KD is effortless to get his. And I think if you could make it go 7 games, Kyrie may have to tire out after a while.
Same thing with Harden, per se.
Yeah, Harden. It's the same way.
Like KD is basically 2 dribbles, 3 steps, and he's went 20 yards somehow on the court, and it's just like, oh, floater. I mean, the dude is 7'1", jumps over everyone.
I'm just gonna shoot over you.
That's the thing about it. Like KD, like KD can score in so many ways. Like he doesn't even need the ball. Like it's just so crazy. Like that's why I feel like when KD is scoring 30+ points, that's gonna automatically allow Brooklyn to like get over the hump against like certain teams.
Mm-hmm. And
that's why I think KD is better than LeBron.
All 3 of those players can get the ball down the stretch and get you a bucket. So that's, you know what I mean? All 3 of those players can get you a ball down the stretch and get the bucket. Now, the 4-5 matchup in the West. How do you guys feel about that? Denver and Dallas.
5 games, Denver.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think this is a good matchup for Denver. I think Dallas. I mean, I tried to be on the Luka bandwagon from the first day, but they somehow find a way to lose. It still seems like that. So I mean, Denver. They've been here. Porter, I think, has finally showed up that he is a all-star caliber player.
Yes,
and I think this is going to be their series.
Yeah,
I would say 6 just to be nice, but I really feel 5.
Let me ask you this.
I think it'll be 5.
Is this the easiest matchup in the West? Okay, say for instance, Golden State gets Phoenix. Phoenix gets Golden State. Utah gets the Lakers. Is this the easiest matchup in the West?
I'll say yes.
Denver, Dallas, I think so.
Yeah, okay. I'll say yes.
And that's usually the most even matchup too. You guys got to remember the 4-5 is usually the most even matchup according to.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we were talking Denver, LA. There, like that'd be a tough matchup. Now we're just like, yeah, this is no joke.
If we get Utah and LA in the first round, you know how spicy that's gonna be.
That's gonna be really good.
That's gonna be really good, and I think Phoenix and Golden State would be good too. Okay, let's talk about the East. I know we haven't spent much time on the East.
Can I ask one more question? I just want to ask this one. Who would you rather at least move forward, Utah or Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm a Chris Paul.
I'm gonna go with Phoenix. Just the way how Chris Paul has been able to like transcend that team. I know they were good last year in the bubble and they carry that momentum forward, but just having that veteran leader on the court as far as Chris Paul has really helped him elevate to being like a contender in the Western Conference. So like I said, I mean, Phoenix is still very young, so they have a lot of inexperience, but you never know what can happen, man. You never know.
Mm-hmm. I like Phoenix. I'm just rooting so hard for Chris Paul and Monty Williams. And I love Devin Booker. I love his game so much. Kentucky guy.
No comment. Since we're saying love and Booker, I'm just going to try to be cool and be like, whatevs.
I didn't want to spark anything from you, Michael.
This magic moment.
Go ahead and have it. Go ahead and have it.
I'm done. Let's go.
It's all good. Now let's talk about the East, guys.
East Coast.
The East could bring some intriguing matchups as well. So we could get possibly a Boston and Milwaukee matchup.
Be nice. I would rather have Charlotte there, but it'd be nice.
If I'm Milwaukee, I want Charlotte. I do not want Boston.
Charlotte would probably be the fun matchup per se. Watching LaMelo against Giannis in that first round, that'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm Milwaukee, I am cheering my butts off for Charlotte because Brad Stevens knows how to play Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Two coaches in the East, 3 coaches in the East know how to play Giannis. Nick Nurse, Brad Stevens, and Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 coaches in the East that know how to play him. And I'm banking Tom Thibodeau knows how to play him too.
Oh yeah, without question. Without question he does.
So if you got that and you saying, okay, Boston has 2 guys that can give me 25 at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Kemp, when healthy, can give me 25. That's 75 points. Marcus Smart's going to do his thing. Brooklyn is in within 3. Kyrie just hit a 3. I'm telling you, they can just score in bunches. I thought the game was over with. Those other guys know their roles. They know their roles and they're fitting in. As much slack as we give not Brooklyn, but Boston for underachieving, Milwaukee does not want to see them in the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's a tough first round matchup.
That's true.
Could you imagine?
Philly don't want to see Washington in the first round. Go ahead.
Philly what? Oh yeah, no, I don't think so.
Without question.
Because I feel like Russ and Bradley Beal on a mission. Go ahead, Michael.
I was just gonna say, could you imagine Boston with Chris Paul?
Without Kemba? Yes.
Yeah, without Kemba. Like, could you just imagine that team? That would have been a really.
They'd definitely be like a top team in the East, without question.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because the game would just be so much easier for everybody else. Just look at Phoenix. Phoenix, those young players from Phoenix have grown, and the game is just so easy for everybody on the court. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that would
underrated point guard ever, Chris Paul.
That would be beautiful. Now, the 4-5 matchup is intriguing in the East. So, if we got Washington and Philly, Milwaukee and Boston, 4 and 5, 3 and 6, of course, who is the most likely to upset? Washington, Boston, Miami, or Atlanta? I guess you could say Miami. Atlanta. Yeah. Who's more likely to upset?
I'm gonna say probably the biggest upset will possibly be Washington upsetting Philly. I feel like it may not happen, but I feel like there may be a chance just because of how good Westbrook has been playing. Westbrook obviously has that experience. He's been to the finals with the combination of Bradley Beal, who has had playoff experience as well, and he's I want to say he's still the leading scorer in the NBA. I haven't checked the stats, but I mean, kind of like what Amber said. I mean, they are on a mission. You know, they've been playing well over the last month or so. So you never know. I mean, Philadelphia, they are going into the playoffs with their first season under Doc Rivers. So that's the championship coach. So obviously they'll have a game plan. But I'm not gonna say it will happen, but I won't be surprised if it does.
Michael, what you thinking?
I think it would be extremely hard for Washington to upset. Do they have the factors all going their way? Yes, because I mean they have to 1, beat Indiana, and then 2, beat the loser of the Charlotte-Boston before they even make it there. And I do think Philly could accidentally overlook Washington if they were to make it. I really think that could happen. But with Doc, I think as well seasoned as he is, he will have them ready to play there. I think that series would probably be 5, maybe 6. That's just my opinion. The most I think would be interesting for an upset, I think Boston over Milwaukee. Even though just 2 minutes ago I said Milwaukee is the one I trust most. But
my thing is with Boston, like you just don't know what
struggled this year.
Gonna get, man. Like that's my thing though. It's like, you know, they can be a great team with Tatum playing at the high level, leading the way, or they could just be one of those teams that just get ran through because they're just so poor defensively. So that's the thing. Like you just don't know what Boston you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But when it comes playoff time, I think we get the Boston that we deserve to get.
Okay.
It changes. I mean, you know as well as I do, I always think of playoff times back in the early 2000s when you'd see Kobe picking up like almost past half court defense. Like, you know, it's going to be that type of defense coming at us here. And Boston, that I think will get them fired because Boston's defense actually helps their offense a lot. And I think that'll play to their favor.
They just don't play defense.
Right. But when it comes to playoff time, I think everyone's going to pick it up a little bit, and that'll help them.
Okay. So
I'd love Charlotte.
You think the Nets will pick up their defense come playoff time? I told people that they would. People like,
I mean, they'll pick it up, but it's still probably like be everyone's worse.
Blake Griffin's on a tear right now. Okay, Blake. I think he has
this
like
is
8
his
or 9.
one game he has to play. You don't have to play anymore after this.
He had like 8 or 9 straight points. But in the East, I'm gonna call it. If the rankings stay the same, I'm gonna call this Boston beats Milwaukee.
I mean, I can see that.
I mean, I'm gonna call that. I had a hot take last year with my Miami beat Milwaukee, and if that happens, if Milwaukee does not make the finals, Budenholzer's out. There's already been reports about that. If they don't make it,
did y'all just have Milwaukee coming out of the East?
I don't have Milwaukee coming out. I got the Nets coming out the East.
Okay.
Oh no.
It might have been Michael that said that. I don't know.
I said that would be my most trusting team. Now, as far as most trusting, I don't think that they're going to win it. I still think it's going to be the Nets. But as far as who I would trust the most now, Milwaukee, because they're unsexy.
I didn't give a trusting team. I just told the flaws of every team. But I don't trust Milwaukee at all, if you want me to be perfectly honest. Nick
calling me out. Said, I thought you had Boston or Milwaukee. My bad, Nick.
It confused me for a second. I was like, both of y'all are so high on Boston. I was like, wait, like didn't y'all just have like hosts from Milwaukee for like a second ago? Like,
I can change my mind if I want to, okay? You know what? I've got Charlotte coming out of the East now.
Hey,
Oh,
you know
Lord.
it. LaMelo rookie.
He said, "Oh,
you know
Lord."
what I mean?
If LaMelo
Why
makes it to the
not?
finals, there's no question who's rookie of the year. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get all the votes, all the media votes, all the votes.
Edwards. Zion somehow wins Rookie of the Year yet again.
Oh my goodness. But that'd be my biggest upset. I think Boston can do it. I think they could push Milwaukee 6 or 7 games. Milwaukee's gonna be tired by the time they get to Brooklyn, and you cannot have tired legs when you play Brooklyn because guess what? You're gonna have to guard the 3-headed monster.
oh yeah.
And that's gonna be interesting.
I'm just gonna be
Anything
honest
else?
with you. It really broke my heart not to say Miami because you know how much I love Miami and that defense.
Mhm. I know you do.
Even though it's been a little rough this year, but
I mean, Hero had 20 plus the other night. He came back, and Hero had a good game. But Miami's just the injuries, COVID is too inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I loved Miami this season, coming into this season. I love them. But if they get Brooklyn in that first round, that's going to be tough. If Atlanta gets Brooklyn in the first round, I think Brooklyn sweeps.
Yeah.
Because they're too young. They're too young. I don't think the Knicks will drop that far. I don't think.
I mean, I'm going to say this, and you can say a hot take if you will. If it's Brooklyn, Miami, I still think it's going to go at least 6 games.
Without question, yeah.
You think it goes 6?
I think it'll make 6 games.
I'll say 5.
If Jimmy Butler can take the team that he had in the playoffs last year without Bam, and I want to say Hero was even out too, and win at least 1 game against the Lakers, I think he can manage at least 1 game with Brooklyn with less.
But Brooklyn has more scoring than the Lakers do.
You don't bet against Jimmy when he wants a bucket, okay?
I'm not betting against Jimmy. I'm just letting you know that 3-head monster is going to be. I don't think people understand how tough that is going to be to guard because they haven't seen it enough.
But we also are going to have home court advantage a little bit this year, so I do think that's going to help Miami some. Being at home some is going to help them. I'm going to say Miami wins 2 games in that series.
Okay, I'll say 1. Nick, what you think? 2?
Mark it down. He's going 2.
You
say 2? Okay.
I'm gonna definitely go 2 because I feel like with how great of a defensive coach Ari Spoelstra is, I think that he'll allow them to flip that switch. Hopefully.
Okay.
And really, their best defenders have length too. At Miami, like Bam, I'm not going to say can shut KD down at all, but he can at least contest a lot of shots. Jimmy Butler's going to be on him some, and just Jimmy. Heck, he was running his mouth to the other day. Who was it? To Cat as well. So Jimmy Butler is just straight up. He's in your face no matter what it is. So I think he will win and maybe 2.
He won't talk like that to KD because KD will go on his head for 35.
Oh yeah, without question. Yeah, you don't want to do that with KD.
You don't want to do that with
No.
KD. There's some cages you just don't rattle. And I think NBA players pick and choose who they talk noise to. Be honest.
Oh yeah.
Because he called the whole Timberwolves team soft as tissue. You guys know, well, soft is something else, but we cannot say that on the airwaves. But you remember when he had
tissue is for.
Yeah. Remember when he had that third string team when he was with the Timberwolves and he ran the first string and they were talking about that in practice. Jimmy Butler does not respect the Timberwolves organization or the Timberwolves period. So he was talking hot trash to Cat and Anthony Edwards. And you don't do that to Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is just a different animal. It's just levels. Levels to it. There's just levels to it.
But do you think that, like, even we know it's Jimmy Butler just kind of playing the mind game on there, trying to be Michael Jordan. But if you think about it, they fired Tom Thibodeau, and look what he's done with the Knicks. Like, apparently this organization can't buy into any. If they don't like your scheme, they just don't care because Karl Anthony Towns, like a lot of the rep went there, is that he doesn't like to play defense. And Tom is all about defense. Butler loves the defense, and it never worked. Tom leaves, go to the Knicks.
One of the best
the
teams
Knicks
in the league. And that job
at the
sexy.
4 seed.
Yeah.
Like right now, they may get a superstar to actually go there during the offseason. I'll say superstar lightly, you don't know, but they'll get some help over there over the offseason.
Could it be Drummond?
No, please go to Charlotte.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at people who have money.
That'll be tough. Nerlens Noel has been great in the middle for them.
But he can come off the bench because he came off the bench for OKC and was great for OKC. So I'm just thinking about places Drummond can go where teams have money and they're young.
Mhm.
Because he just does not look right with the Lakers. He just does not. It's an eyesore. Did you watch him against Portland last night?
It was bad.
I did not. But I'm happy that the Knicks are finally a team that could be a destination.
Relevant, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And Tom Thibodeau has brought the edge and the fire to that team, and I love
Coach of the year.
The Knicks might be my favorite team to watch this season, honestly.
I agree. I agree.
Quickly.
I like the Knicks. I like watching Charlotte. I like watching Memphis. These young, vibrant teams, Indiana when they're fully healthy. These young, vibrant teams, Atlanta, the teams we're not getting on TV. I love to watch. All right, let's talk about this last topic. I know you Laker fans are ready for this. Oh boy, I know y'all ready for this. The Lakers.
Horrible.
We got comments. How are we feeling about the Lakers?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Matt. I've been at the widescreen or the full screen, so I actually see the stuff. My old eyes here.
I haven't looked at it either, man. I'm sorry, but are the Lakers in trouble?
I've been on record saying, a healthy LeBron, healthy AD. I feel like they're a tough matchup, no matter what seed they're in, 7, 8. Like you put them wherever they're at. I feel like they're a tough matchup when healthy, but. I don't know with the way LeBron's ankle has been looking, I don't know how he's going to be. Anthony Davis has just been falling on the floor like crazy, so you just don't know if another injury is going to happen for him. Goodness. The Lakers are just not looking good besides those two. I mean, Kuzma continues to be inconsistent to me. Drummond, although I don't know why, but people were having Drummond, like when Drummond first signed with the Lakers, I think people were kind of putting him as far as like an all-star caliber talent for the Lakers, and I was just telling everybody, look, all he needs to do is rebound, defend. That's all he needs to do. But to a certain degree, he has not done that. He's been getting beat by other bigs per se. I don't know what it is with him, but for some reason, it's just not working with him. I think the Lakers do need to be in panic mode right now. But then again, anything can change. But if LeBron's not healthy come playing tournament, I don't know what'll happen for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here is actually a Laker fan, so it does make me feel better to hear that his heart hurts. Oh, that sounds so bad. Because that sounded worse than what I meant, Perry. I apologize, because I do think they're in trouble. Like, I think panic button is going on right now because we don't know what's going on. You think AD is healthy, and of course he's going to tell you he's healthy, but if you're getting back spasms after having the Achilles, it could be that you're overcompensating, trying to stay off of that. I mean, I could be reaching for that, but at the same time, if they're in the play-in game, that's when I worry. If they can slip back into that 6th seed, I'm going to say, okay, now you've got your time. You extended this another week to 2 weeks where you can still get healthier, get to that 100% LeBron James, whines about everything, makes an excuse for everything. That's his full name. And then it's okay. But if they're in the play-in game, I would be worried if I was the Lakers.
Because it's one
game. The good thing is, though, they have to lose 2 games. It's hard for Lakers, I think, any LeBron team to lose back-to-back games.
As long as they keep that 7th seed. Now, if they do drop, then they're really in trouble.
Then they're out of there. So, yeah, if I'm Lakers fan, I mean, I would not want to think it's championship or bust this year. I would try to pump the brakes a little bit and think, okay, we just had some injuries. Let's not over exaggerate this team because they may not make it.
If the Lakers don't make the playoffs, oh my God,
Twitter will explode. I think the NBA, I think ESPN will explode. Skip Bayless will. Shannon Sharp might not even come to work. Skip Bayless will have a
He'll go on a rant.
Skip.
Oh yeah. The Lakers will not be watching ESPN for at least 3 months.
Stephen A is gonna be shouting on the airwaves. Oh my God!
Especially if the Knicks make it. If the Knicks make it further than the Lakers, oh my goodness! He already went on a rant about the Knicks being in the playoffs. I mean, just imagine. Could you just imagine the Knicks going further than the Lakers? Could you just imagine that?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But are the Lakers in trouble? I think LeBron is not healthy. I don't think Anthony Davis is healthy. I told you this before. That Achilles is tricky. That Achilles is tricky. He hurt his ankle, but then he had back spasms. Like, I don't understand how that works. Like, he hits the floor every time he goes to the rim. My mom says, Anthony's on the floor again, isn't he? I said, Mother, yes, he is. And my mama knows that there's something wrong. But the Lakers are in trouble because of health. Schroeder's gonna have to get back in shape after he misses 2 weeks because he has health and safety protocols. He needs to be their third guy. It cannot be Kuzma because obviously Kuzma cannot be the third guy.
Yeah.
Will Marc Gasol get meaningful minutes for the Lakers? Do you trust him more than you trust Andre Drummond in the playoffs?
At this point, they are saying that they're gonna place Marc Gasol back in that starting center position. So it may happen.
I think it fits better because Marc Gasol is just a smarter player. He's just better for this team offensively, in my opinion. And that's crazy for me to say. Defensively, I think Andre Drummond is best. We can just say that because he's more athletic. He can move more. But Marc Gasol understands the game of basketball better than Andre Drummond. He has more playoff experience than Andre Drummond as well. I like Marc Gasol. Give Marc Gasol 20 minutes. Give Marc Gasol 20 minutes. I like that for the Lakers. I like 20 minutes of Marc Gasol. Now, it depends on their matchups at center. Who would their matchups be? Let's see, DeAndre Ayton and Gobert, potentially. Those first rounds, either Utah or Phoenix. Okay. Gobert can't. I'm not going to say that about Gobert. Utah fans, don't kill me. Gobert can move. Rudy Gobert is great. Okay, he can move. He's great. I just have to get that out the way. I don't disrespect Rudy Gobert. I just think that he's limited on the offensive end.
Oh yeah, without question.
And on the defensive end. I don't care what you tell me. But the Lakers, it's the health issue. And then when they get healthy, it's the getting in shape issue. It's the one game issue because you can't afford to have a bad game. You cannot afford to have a bad game if you're the Lakers. So say you have a stinker. Then where does that put you if you have a stinker?
A stinker?
Yeah, if you have a stinker. It's just not, you just put you in a good position because then you have to play again. You have to play back-to-back. Is it back-to-back days you have to play or is it a one rest day?
Ooh, I would assume
I don't know that
one rest.
Is it one rest day or back-to-back? Because back-to-back will kill the Lakers with their health. That would kill them. That would kill them.
But the good thing about them is that if they do stay as the 7th seed, they do have an opportunity to play again if they do lose. So that's the one thing. But if they do drop, then they're in trouble.
Yeah. And if you play again, LeBron tweaked that ankle. Anthony Davis tweaked something else. I'm pretty sure LeBron would play through it. Now, speaking of LeBron, this is a good topic from Spicy Queso. What do you think about his legacy if they do miss the playoffs?
I don't think it'll really take a hit, to be honest. Just because, it is year 18. He's 36 years old, so everybody's kind of expecting, Father Time will be kicking in. So, honestly, I don't see it really taking a big hit when you think about LeBron's career overall. Now, do we continue to have high expectations for him? Of course we do, but we do understand that, we do understand that the Lakers have been bothered by injuries, and that's really what's hurting them throughout the season.
We know media is going to have a field day with it. Be like, LeBron is done. It's finally hitting in. Oh, my goodness, it's over with. The Lakers are going to panic. But we know LeBron's hurt. He rolled an ankle. And granted, ankles you can still play. I'm not going to go into all of that. But LeBron is hurt. AD is hurt. Schroeder's been hurt. This is an older team. Now, I'm not saying older as in oh, my goodness, if they don't win this year, they're done. We know next year the Lakers are going to be right back in talks from day one that they could possibly go to the finals yet again. So I think this is just a write-up. Oh, my goodness, we just all got hurt at the wrong time. This is just not our year. Point blank, you can say it's not your year. Now, media, ESPN, and all that stuff, they're going to have field days with it. But legacy, no. Even I'm the biggest LeBron hater, and I'm going to say it's not going to hurt his legacy.
Do y'all think the short offseason that the Lakers had may have impacted this year?
Personally, no, because everyone's still rested, if not more, during the season.
Yeah.
But will they say that? Yes, they probably will. Be like, oh, well, we didn't want to play this early, and that was the big argument. And look what we did. Now we don't have the Lakers in the finals, and that's the reason.
But they had to
I
play
hate
this
media.
early. Yeah, they had to play this early because of the Olympics. So they didn't have a choice.
That's true.
So do you want to push it back and not play in the Olympics? Because you could choose not to play in the Olympics if you want that rest. Because I think if the Lakers go to the finals, I don't think LeBron's going to play in the Olympics. It just doesn't make sense for his body.
Oh, yeah, without question.
It doesn't make sense in year 18. And I don't know how people feel about playing for America right now in the first place, especially with all the controversy going on in the Olympics with the you can't wear Black Lives Matter stuff at the Olympics. So it's been some rumors that they should boycott the Olympics. And what would the Olympics be without Americans?
Yeah.
Black Americans at that, if you want me to be completely honest.
But yeah,
I don't know what to say here, guys.
I mean,
the Lakers are in trouble. The Lakers are in trouble.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that because that's just how I feel. I feel strongly about a lot of things. I just don't voice my opinion. But I just feel
we love you. Don't worry. I love you so much.
I'm very honest about. I know who I am and I know what I represent and I know my place. Just put it to you like that. So the Lakers.
I will say I'm hurt here because I said that I love you so much and you didn't say it back. Like my heart is shattered.
Michael, you know I love you, Michael. Nick, I love you too.
You didn't say it.
Oh yeah, I love all y'all. Shout out to the Unrest Sports family.
Thank you.
I guarantee right now, if I said Nick, I love you, he would say it back to me. Amber, you didn't even say it.
You know what, Michael? I'm not going to let you do this to me tonight. But the Lakers. Okay, I say the Lakers. I said didn't I just say I love? I said I loved you, and I said I love Nick. Come on, bring it here, bring it in.
It's a pity.
Oh yeah,
bring it in.
Video hug.
Bring it in.
Right.
But do the Lakers make it past the first round?
With the way
every time we talk about the Lakers, it has to be two things: are they completely healthy or not? And that changes everything. If they're not completely healthy, no, I think they're out first round. But if they're healthy, then I think they go to the finals. That's how good this team is when they're all healthy and in shape.
That road to the finals is going to be tough.
It's the way.
I don't see it happening going to the finals. I don't see
even if they're 100%.
Maybe, but with the way LeBron's ankle's looking right now,
that's a hard injury to come back from.
Yeah,
that's a tough injury to come back from. From what I've been seeing on Twitter, that's tough. Because he rolled it in the inside. It's not the outside. The outside is he rolled it to the inside of his ankle. So it's and the way he moves and likes to move, and that playoffs they're gonna play every other day, right? They're gonna play every other day. Are they still gonna do every other day for the playoffs?
I hope so.
I will have to say sure because I'm not 100%.
I hope so.
That's tough. That's a tough recovery period for year 18 LeBron. And him saying he's never going to be 100% for the rest of his career is even more troubling to think about. And then Kyle Kuzma's not consistent, and Caruso cannot be your facilitator at the point guard position because we saw what happened last night against Portland. So
Kyle Kuzma, man, such an underachiever.
I wanted so much. I wanted Kyle Kuzma to be great, and people was like, the Lakers picked Kyle Kuzma over Brandon Ingram. They had to because Brandon Ingram.
But it's also because people didn't want to stay patient with Ingram or Lonzo. Yeah. So you saw Kuzma those first few years ascending, which people did expect him to become great. It was a smarter move at the time, but now seeing the way Kuzma has gone and seeing Ingram, win most improved player now, it just sucks, man. It sucks.
It sucks, but I always thought Brandon Ingram would be a better player than Kyle Kuzma. It just took Brandon Ingram some time, but you saw Brandon Ingram grow. With the Lakers, when LeBron went out with that, I think he had that growing injury. You saw Ingram take that next step, and I really love that from Brandon Ingram. And then he got to the Pelicans and just boom, like wow, you know what I mean? So I like that. But could the Lakers make it out the first round? Utah, I think, will be a tough matchup for them. Would Utah or Phoenix be tougher?
Probably Utah. And honestly, if the Lakers are going into that Utah series hobbled, they might possibly either get swept or lose in 5. Because
they got to guard the 3-point line. They got to run out and get to them.
It sucks to say. if they're going into a hobbled now, if something magically happens and they do get healthy, then it'll be more competitive. But if LeBron is still dealing with the ankle injury and Davis is still having back spasms and Achilles injuries and all that, I don't know, man. I just don't see them like possibly getting over that hump.
I mean,
a healthy Lakers team. What you guys think? Go ahead, Michael.
I'm just thinking, how far have they been dropping right now? And we're getting them back in there. Like they were like the 3rd seed, wasn't they, at one point while healthy? But then they've made it all the way back to the 7th seed. So y'all are making me more excited about the playoffs now. Watching the Lakers bail out way too early.
Oh goodness!
But that's the thing. Injuries playing a huge part for them because like you said, they were just the 3rd seed when everybody was healthy. But as soon as LeBron goes out, AD goes out, Schroeder goes out. They just continue to drop and continue to drop. So that's why I'm saying, like, if they are going into that series hobbled, I don't see them making it nearly competitive with Utah.
What about Phoenix?
Phoenix may. I think it'll probably be more competitive, but I still see them possibly getting bounced in like 5 or 6 if they are hobbled.
Okay. I like the way Phoenix plays defense.
I feel like the Suns would be the less of a actual good matchup because – not taking anything from Utah, but I feel like there's more players that are way more athletic, that they have to stay with and guard on the defensive side for them.
For Phoenix, Phoenix is more athletic than Utah. Yeah. Utah can shoot that thing. Ooh, Utah can
yeah. And they move the ball so well.
They do. Phoenix does too.
Yeah, they do.
They do too. And Phoenix is a little bit more athletic. I like Phoenix's bench. I really do. I like those young players for Phoenix.
I want Chris Paul to get a ring, please.
I do too.
I do too. I really do.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
Apparently, I might be like a member of the Chris Paul fan club, and I didn't know about it.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's for real.
That's greatness. Okay, so if the Lakers, one more question. The Lakers get to Utah, say they're healthy, and they get past Utah or Phoenix. The second round matchup will either be the Clippers or Portland, or Dallas and Denver.
If healthy and they do get past the first round, if they do play Denver, which I do expect because I don't see Dallas getting past Denver. I don't know. I think it will be competitive. I think that series could possibly. Yeah, I think it'll possibly go 6 or 7. Because like I said, Jokic is having a great year, and like y'all said, Michael Porter Jr. is continuing to ascend at that All-Star level. So the Lakers will definitely have their hands full. Now, as far as I want to say, they'll play the Clippers per se. The Clippers. Now the question is, will we get playoff P? Will we get him? Will Kawhi continue to play at that high level? And people don't realize like the two probably biggest additions for me is probably Rondo and Boogie Cousins.
Come on, join in.
They just tied the game. Brooklyn just tied the game. Kevin Durant just hit a 3. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
We're listening, Nick. We're listening over here.
But yeah, the Clippers will probably be a good matchup too, just because of the combination of Kawhi, Paul George, and also Patrick Beverley's finally getting healthy as well. Reggie Jackson's played phenomenal.
Yes.
And
Marcus Morris
too.
Rondo
is the difference maker. I keep telling people that was my favorite trade. In the trade deadline was the Rondo trade because I feel like that's going to help them elevate to possibly coming out of the West. Is having that having that floor general on the floor with them.
And the mental that he brings to the game too. Plus knowing the Lakers, like he was with the Lakers last year.
If I'm the Lakers, I avoid the Clippers at all costs. I do not want to play the Clippers. I just don't want to play the Clippers.
Well, there's always that big brother though.
Yeah, I get that, but they swept the season series, which that doesn't mean much. But I'm just saying I don't want to play the Clippers because I don't like that matchup if I'm the Lakers.
I wouldn't want to play the Clippers for the fact that if they do beat me, like that's even more for the media to just attack like crazy, Shannon
Sharp's not coming to work.
That's a loss scenario of a matchup. You win, you're supposed to beat them. It's the big brother. You lose, oh snap, you lost to them. So it's a lose matchup for them.
The streets of LA will go crazy if the Clippers do beat the Lakers.
Oh yes. Perry, will you be okay if the Clippers beat you guys?
Heck no, Perry. I think the Unrest Sports Network basketball chat would blow up. I think
goodness.
I think it would go.
There's
crazy.
a lot of Laker fans in the chat too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of LeBron fans in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that would go nuts. I think Twitter would go nuts. But if I'm the Lakers, I'm avoiding the Clippers. But it might not be they might not be able to avoid that matchup. But if Portland upsets the Clippers, you never know. That could happen too, because Portland's one of those teams that you just don't know, because Dame and CJ get hot and then Melo gets hot on top of that. That's hard to stop. And then they got Norman Powell now. He can score in bunches. They just can't stop anybody.
Portland would definitely have to rely on their offense because their defense is not as great as their offense is, unfortunately.
It's just not. Excuse me, guys. All right, that's today's show.
Excuse me, guys. We out.
I had Chipotle. Okay, I had Chipotle.
Uh-huh. You always have Chipotle.
Yeah, I love Chipotle. I eat it too. Vegetables. I mean, rice and beans and lettuce and a little.
Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that. And I spent 2 hours at the gym today too.
How long?
2 hours.
Dang.
I'm at the gym.
That's not a basketball gym, right? That's actually like a weight room gym, right?
No, I'm not lifting weights just yet because I get too bulky.
Okay. Me too. Way too bulky.
Yeah. I actually do.
Oh, that's okay.
I in my high school pictures, I look like this because I used to lift every day, and I used to look like this in my high school pictures. It was just.
That's funny. I was probably like 150 pounds in high school, which sucks.
Really? I probably bench press. I was probably benching 165 pounds in high school.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, and that's just not good. So we'll hold off on the weights. Doing more plyometric stuff, kind of become more limber.
My right leg probably weighed 150 pounds in high school.
So what's your leg press? What'd you leg press?
Come
on, brag, Michael. Brag, Michael. Brag, Michael.
No, actually in high school I was like 200, 220.
Okay.
That's how much I weighed, not my bench. My right leg didn't weigh 150. It does now.
Okay, what's your leg press, Michael? What's your leg press?
I don't know. I never jumped high. Listen, but my most I ever bench was 275. Of course, that was in college. I was happy about that.
Michael.
Okay, I was.
Nick, what about you? What's your max?
Oh man, honestly, I don't even know that, and it's crazy because I lift weights like almost every day. Like I just basically go with whatever. Like I'll start out with 245s, and then I'll just go higher each time. So I'm not sure. I would definitely have to get back with y'all and do that.
He's English. It's too much math. He's English. Remember?
Oh, that's true. All English.
That's true.
Doesn't like numbers at all. Doesn't like adding and subtracting.
What's the worst of times? What's the best of times?
That's one of the reasons why sometimes I'll be having to argue with these analytical guys because I'm like, sometimes some parts of the game that doesn't matter in that circumstance. It's crazy.
I'm the same way. I don't like the analytics of the game of basketball. I really despise it. I think it's neat. I think it's beautiful, but I trust my eyes more.
Exactly.
I just trust my eyes because you can have an analytics guy say, "Oh, KD isn't efficient. Brooklyn now has a lead." You can say KD isn't efficient, but when I look at KD play, he looks efficient to me.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean? It's just.
I think analytical is more towards baseball than it is basketball.
It should.
You can manipulate those numbers. Like, okay, KD has the ball. He shoots on the right side. He makes 8 out of 10. Oh, well, he's made 8 out of 10. So the second half, they've got 3 guys on him guarding him. Now he went 2 for 10. So apparently he gets tired as the game goes on because of the numbers. No, they put the whole team on there. They had a guy in the stands with a laser shining at his eyes trying to deflect it. There's a little difference going on there.
It's just like early in the year, me and a guy were having a conversation about the MVP between Jokic and Embiid, and then next, he just starts bringing out this chart with a whole bunch of measures, and I'm like, dude, I don't need that, dude, please.
Embiid is your MVP. I think he should be the league MVP. Now, Joel did make it close, but I think if Joel didn't miss those games, it'd be a lot closer. I think it would be a lot closer.
It would.
But I think Joel Embiid's gonna get some first place votes. I think he.
No question. Dang, they're still under 6 minutes of playing this game.
Yeah, and they just turned the ball over. Kyrie with no water and no food. Kyrie is cooking people. All right,
I like that.
That was because he's doing that because it's religious reasons. Enos Cantor, Jaylen Brown. Who else is doing it? Enos Cantor, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie. That's the only Muslims I can think of in the NBA right now.
Salute to them because I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, they're not eating?
Yeah, they're fasting.
They're fasting.
Dang, for like how long? Like, I mean, is there any period that they can eat?
When can they start back eating again? I forgot when the holiday ends, or when does it end? I need more versatile friends, Amber. You need more versatile friends because I would know when this would end.
Because I know, what are we in May? Like,
yeah,
Catholics don't eat anything but fish during like the springtime, the mass or whatever I think they call it.
Yeah,
but they're still able to eat.
Yeah, Kyrie can't drink water. He can't during the games. None of that. Hakeem did it his whole career, and I'm pretty sure Enos Cantor has done it his whole career. Kyrie's just converted to Muslim, so he's been doing it since Ramadan. I want to say I'm saying that right. Ramadan started. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying to figure out.
Didn't you?
I don't know how they're doing it for 48 minutes. No water?
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't go without food for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not even playing. Like, I mean, my goodness. Like, they've got to be chewing a lot of gum just thinking that they're eating right now.
I don't think they can do that either.
How does gum have calories? Like, I mean, how do you...
Sugar. It's sugar in it.
Yeah.
You can't put anything in your mouth. You can't put anything in your mouth. You can only eat you can only eat sundown. Oh, well, yeah, something like sundown. I have to look up the rules. We're going to bring it up on the calculator.
Got to look up the rules.
Yeah, it's, I have to look up.
I know what you're saying. It was just funny.
They got rules. Hey, it's rules to it. You can't do certain things. So I really appreciate those men for doing that. Shout outs to you. Stay strong. Because I drank 2.5 bottles of water when I got done working out today.
I drank like a whole thing when
I
we did the show.
I got water right next to me.
Yeah, I always have my water next to me during the show. But Nick, we appreciate you, Nick.
I appreciate you guys. This is probably like my 10th time being on here. I don't know. But yeah, I'm always happy to come on and talk hoops with you guys, man. So I definitely appreciate it.
Anytime.
Because we're gonna do a play-in tournament special on the 18th. I want to do a preview special on Tuesday. I just gotta see what the schedule is like for StreamYard. That sucks. The 18th.
What day is the 18th on?
On a Tuesday. And I know
is it on Tuesday? Okay.
Heart
I think
count
it's
goes
the hard
on,
count.
and then for the love of the game goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
I think they may have their own StreamYard.
They might have their own.
I think
we're gonna have to figure this out. Either we're gonna have to go probably. I don't know how early you guys can go.
Wait, let me check my schedule. The 18th, I should be out.
I should be out too by a decent time.
Okay, because we would have to probably go on before the hard count. And do the preview special of the games.
The 18th. Ooh, I work till 9:30.
Okay.
But by all means, go ahead, and if you're later in the day, I can try to join later and be like, LeBron's going home.
Or we could recap one of the games or whatever.
We can recap, or I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it because I want to work around everybody's schedule, make sure people are available for it. And I want to make sure that we don't interrupt anybody else's StreamYard because, of course, we can't hop on StreamYard and do it while somebody else is streaming.
Wow, where'd all these views come all of a sudden? Guys, we're ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We appreciate the love nonetheless.
Yes.
Of course we do. You know what I mean? Curry is cooking. Oh, my goodness. He got 49 points. He shot 21 threes. Steph Curry shot 21 threes.
How many did he make?
11.
It's Steph Curry, man.
Golly. I mean, that's almost 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, you're shooting almost 50%. You shoot
just over 50.
It's over 50, math.
Look.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
I'm kind of good somewhat.
You said he made 11 of 23?
Of 21.
Oh, okay. I was thinking 20. Then yes, obviously.
It's okay. All right. You ready to pay some bills and get on out of here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll go first. All right.
Okay.
I had a moment.
It's after midnight here, guys.
It's It's late. I had a moment. I don't know why I had that moment. Check out rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN to get 10% off of your entire order. Warm and cool therapy. Pay attention to the dosage, guys. Don't continue to rub it on if you don't feel it. Trust me, it's going to kick in. Celebrity Believers made with all natural products. Check out rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN to get 10% off of your entire order.
Go to mybookie.ag. Use promo code USN100. And for all your betting needs, go check that out. Also, check out our Unwrapped Sports betting department. I think it's Bets Unwrapped. For any advice that you may need on that, it will. If you use the code USN100, it will double your first deposit that you ever make on the website.
All right, here we go. And teespring.com. You leave MyBookie, you win some money. Come spend it. teespring.com/store/unwrap. Come spend it on the Unwrapped Sports Network and support us. We really appreciate it. We got the OG gear. We got some new logos. We got some new merch. We got LeBron. I know you guys don't like me saying that, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Perry. Thank you, Perry.
We got phone cases. Every live lineup has gear, guys. Every live lineup has gear. Count the bucket. We're getting there. We'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. Ladies First has gear. And then, of course, Backstop Banter has gear. Oh, the prop bros. Oh, keeping it blunt. Gonna miss you guys. All right, the Long Ball Lounge. That's Jesse's new show. He goes on it whenever he's free. So you guys go check him out. Make sure y'all give him a shout out.
Whenever he's free.
Yeah, whenever
usually
he's
Thursdays free. At 7 where he's went most of the time, I think.
Right, yeah, it's whenever, because I know his schedule gets crazy. So whenever he's free, he just says, "Hey guys, I can go on. Is anybody going on?" Because I know his schedule is hectic. Because he's getting ready to start law school, I think. Yes. So check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped.
And if anything that you actually listen to us today, pay attention to this. Go to patreon.com/unwrappedsports. We need membership. $1 a month. You're a part of the fan, or you're a fan. $5 a month. You're a part of the family. You get 10% off that sweet Teespring that she just had pulled up there on all the merch, 10% off. And you're also invited to the Discord where you're just kind of on the outskirts. You're in the stadium watching us. For the VIP, it's $10 a month, 20% off the Teesprings, and then now you're on the field or on the court playing with us in the Discord where you're interacting with us and we're in the chat. But the main thing that's great about that, you are entered in with the $10 per month on the drawing, and this month is a miniature helmet of Ricky Williams.
Hook 'em horns.
Man, we're getting good at this.
There you go. Practice makes perfect. All right, Nick, where can we find you, Nick?
Follow me on Twitter at NickAndreATR. As you guys may know, I am very active on NBA Twitter. You might see me in a few arguments here and there. You might see me rave about the Warriors here and there. You never know. And also click on the link tree in my bio. You'll be able to see everything from articles, podcasts, all of that. So yeah, just check me out.
Michael, where can we find you and all your shows?
You can find, I don't know why I just wanted to quote Nelly right then. I'm sorry, I've shown my age.
I was listening to some Nelly when I was working out today.
From the Midwest.
Yes. But you can find me on Twitter with MDLawson00. Same on Instagram. Also go to Sports Me, which is basically a sports app like Twitter where you do short videos. It's MDLawson00 USN on there. Find all of us at the USN as well. You can see me live on the show, obviously, most Thursdays, my other show, Saturdays, 10:30 o'clock Eastern time. On Thursdays, you can see me on Backstop Banter. I'm a co-host on there, and that's Thursday, 10:30 Eastern time as well. You can go to my linked tree to find all that stuff.
I gotta do a link tree. I need to do one because
you have a link forest.
It helps, I must say.
Yeah, I need to do that because Twitter doesn't give me enough characters in my bio to put all this stuff in there, and I just, you know,
shame
what?
on Twitter.
Right? Shame on you, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at simplyme_AV. Everything's in the bio. I was able to fit everything in the bio. Nick, we need to give a Lamar about the WNBA show we're gonna do. I gotta buy my WNBA League Pass as well.
Definitely. I just purchased mine probably 2 hours before we started the show.
I'm excited. We didn't get the preseason games, but
No.
But we get the games, and I'm excited to watch some WNBA. So I'm just gonna say this, and it's gonna sound bad, Michael. I'm sorry for Count the Bucket, but I probably will watch more WNBA basketball than NBA basketball. But I'm gonna try my best to watch everything, so I can come on a show and talk about it and not sound like a casual. Agree? Can I do
It's
that,
gonna be
Michael?
tough.
That's gonna be tough because the seasons run together, and I'm like, it's gonna be tough, Michael. But I don't want to sound like a casual. I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I've watched the games. So I'm probably gonna have to just do some double time.
That's okay. You've already got an iPad sitting there and another computer sitting there. You just have them all going. You got a TV you've been watching too. One of those I'm sure you got by your sponsorship of somebody. You know.
Goodness.
She's got it, guys. When are we going to LA? We need an update on that.
I will give you guys an update. I will update you. It's hopefully August for me.
Okay.
Me and Mom are going to go look at apartments probably in June or July. Hopefully it's August for me. I'm ready to go. I will keep you guys updated. I don't want to jinx anything. I put in a couple of applications. I don't want to jinx anything, guys. Okay, I just don't want to do that.
I don't know if you want to work at a restaurant, but I know a guy in LA that works at a restaurant could probably get you hired in.
Yeah, how am I gonna pay my rent, Michael?
Oh yeah,
you know what?
I'm sure the prices in LA are crazy.
Yeah, I've been searching. I appreciate it though, Michael. I do, but I'm probably gonna have to work 90 hours.
I understand
because they don't pay restaurant workers. They don't, and people don't like the tip. And it's just I don't see how they do it. I did it in high school when I could afford to do it, but now most people that work at a restaurant usually have another job tied to that because it's in Oklahoma. You probably could get away with it. Even in Kentucky, you probably could get away with it.
Oh no, there's no way.
You couldn't. Because it's not.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm sorry. I'm being very sarcastic.
I just say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Listen, one night I was on the phone
Midwest.
with Backstop Banter. I was talking with Perry and Connie, who lives in New York. Perry lives in LA. I'm like, the stimulus check's coming. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And then they were talking about trying to get their own new apartments and all this stuff. And Perry's like, a 1-bedroom apartment he was looking at was like $2,400. I was like, hold up, what? And Connie was saying something like $1,800 where he lives. Like, guys, I just built my house here. Like, it's been 10 years ago for less than $100,000. Like, well, what kind of shack do you have? I mean, it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. It's 2 stories. I mean, okay. They're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, well, minimum wage here is just now, I think, $7.50.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, $7.50, like it's $15 here in LA. So it's definitely much different wherever you go.
Yeah. I'm looking at Zillow now, like $1,400 for a studio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I've been apartment hunting in LA. It's been very discouraging.
Like, we get upset when we hear that it's like a rent an apartment and it's actually a house and it's like $400 or $500. Like, whoa, that's robbery there.
Yeah.
$1,400 for a studio.
A studio. And I mean, the studio is probably 300 feet. Like, I saw a studio in LA that was like 375 square feet. And it was like 1,600 in Hollywood. I was like, I wouldn't want to live in Hollywood anyway. A, B, that would be too far from where I'll be working. And C, you can smell my kitchen in my bedroom. I don't want that. Like, ew.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want that, just get an RV and just go live at the beach.
Exactly.
An RV might actually be a great solution.
It might be, but I was looking at townhouses, I was looking at condos, I was looking at because what you pay in rent for a year in LA, you probably could put down on a condo. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking at all of that, and I'm like, dang, like rent is astronomical, and I just want a 1-bedroom.
You never own it.
And you never own it. I said, Mom, I'm going to rent LA for a year, then I'm going to get me something because this right here is unacceptable. Unacceptable. You know, $2,300 a month can get you in Oklahoma. You could have a 4-bed, 4-bed, 3-car garage with probably 4 acres around you. Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
I mean, $2,400 a month here, that's a business.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lease on a business here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I say that, and I'm pretty sure that once I get to LA, I won't. I would have to get used to the lifestyle. I told my mom I might become a minimalist. Because AOG beaches me. I have 1 fork, 1 spoon, 1 knife, 1 pot, 1
Oh,
pan.
my Lord.
You might become Muslim just because you can't eat. I mean,
I don't know if I can do that. Because it's more to go to it.
$6,000 for a 3-bedroom. That's crazy.
Yeah. See, Nick, you're doing it.
Oh, my God.
$6,000.
Do you know I have a notebook that's just
1,300 square feet.
Yeah.
$6,000 a month.
It's insane.
You could. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I get it. It is LA, your sunshine, all that, but
That's
come
ridiculous.
on.
$6
That-
grand?
In a year, you almost paid my house off with that.
Yeah.
It's like $72,000. I built my house for $97,000.
There you go. I just don't understand.
Thank you, Kentucky.
Nick, I don't understand it. I want to live there because that's where I have my contacts. They're in New York, and I looked at apartments in New York. And
New York is crazy.
You got to worry about rats. You got to worry about odds.
Yeah, I ain't going where there's rats. Forget that.
Yeah, a lady, because I watch a lot of YouTube to do my informationals, and a lady was like, she saw a rat in her apartment that was almost as big as her cat, and it didn't move. It wasn't scared of her. I said, no, ma'am. I'm not going to be watching basketball, and I got a rat sitting there chilling with me, eating Cheetos with me, too. I can't do that.
I will grab my gun, and I will pop off on that thing. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's not the South.
It ain't going to move then.
You can't carry a gun in New York.
Yeah,
it's not the South.
I know.
But guys, that was a good show. We had a little tangent, had a little rant about me moving to LA and how depressing it's going to be with this rent prices. But I've saved some money. I've saved actually a lot of money. So
Man.
living with your mom can do that for you. It can do that for you. So
I couldn't even imagine, guys. I'm sorry.
I can't imagine either. And I'm in Oklahoma, so this is gonna be a whole new world for me. My mom lived in San Francisco when she moved and did travel nursing, and San Francisco is more expensive than LA. And she was like, Amber,
really?
It's ridiculous. And that was in 2000.
Like seriously, my house payment a month is like less than $700.
See,
like that, it really blows my mind at that. I mean, of course they have everything I understand, but
that's ridiculous.
I'm actually looking at a 4-bedroom that's around $900 a month.
See,
which is really good.
That's
honestly.
great.
And, well, are you talking about Pensacola though? I mean,
yeah, Pensacola.
That's nice.
And you got
That's
beaches
really nice.
and sunshine, and you got a little hurricane issue there in Florida, but it's okay.
That's true.
It's okay. It's all right. We all have issues. Oklahoma has tornado issues, and it wants
New York
snow.
has rats.
Yeah, New York. Oh my goodness! When I hear stories about New York, and I have a friend that lives in New York.
New York also has hurricanes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the way the climate is going these days, it's just been ridiculous.
LA, they have great white sharks,
earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah,
earthquakes.
But see, the way my body is set up, I just want my feet to touch the water. I don't need to be going all the way out to the shark line and just having a fun-filled day. Like I don't have no sense. I got sense. I got good sense.
Understand.
All righty. Well, that's it for Count the Bucket.
And everything else we've
been going on for a minute.
And everything else that we talk about here on Count the Bucket. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And you guys know that Brooklyn's probably going to win this game.
What's the score?
122 to 119.
Yeah, 15 seconds on my side. I don't know about
yours.
yours.
I got 9 seconds left on my head.
Okay.
And Brooklyn was down by like 20. Mm-hmm. So Brooklyn's going to get off the schneid. Denver's going to lose a game. The Clippers can kind of solidify that 3 spot a little bit. They play. I think they might.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he missed that.
Jokic just called for a foul. They didn't call it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be doing this again?
No, Katie didn't hit it. Katie didn't.
Okay.
But Brooklyn's probably gonna win this game. Oh, he got called for it. Somebody got hit with a tech.
It's probably Jokic. It might have been.
Probably. It might have been.
Because he was pissed. Yeah. Actually, honestly, that's honestly a good no call. Honestly.
You can't call that down the stretch.
Yeah.
Can we not just go ahead and say that KD is better than LeBron?
Michael.
It's funny though, like, because I was just having a conversation with somebody about this like a few days ago. So like, a lot of people will say, like, I know Skip Bayless will say that Kevin Durant's the best player in the world and all that, but like I started thinking, like, we always compare LeBron and MJ, but like I've never heard Kevin Durant and MJ like in the same sentence per se. So it's like, if Kevin Durant is the best player in the world, I will say he is the best scorer. That's without question. Now, but if he is the best player, then it's like, why don't we like expect like these high expectations on him like LeBron per se? You know what I mean?
Why is LeBron in the same category with Jordan when they're two different players? I don't like comparing errors either.
Exactly.
They're two different players. They're not even
I
the
think
same
the
type
reason
of player.
that we don't even consider KD in that argument is because when LeBron was in high school, we were already saying that. Like, this has just been a 20-year conversation. But, like, I know I say that jokingly. I would rather have KD on my team than LeBron. I would. And I may be out in this island on myself, but he scores at ease, and he can still guard some people. I'm not saying LeBron can't, but I think KD can guard more versatile.
KD took 14 shots and had 33 points tonight. Took 14 shots and had 33 points.
How many free throws?
It didn't say. He had 11 rebounds and 7 assists. 14 shots, 33 points. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's too easy for him.
It's effortlessly.
It's so effortless.
Yeah.
And then you see LeBron dribble the ball between his legs, bounce it, and then like do that weird step back, shoot a three. Like, it looks hideous.
Okay, but if you're building a team, you're probably going to build around LeBron because of the way he passes the ball.
I'll give you that. The best play I ever seen him do is that fake pass. We went, whoop.
Oh yeah, nice. I can't remember who he's passing to, but yeah, I remember.
Was it Larry Nance?
It might have been because
I think it was because the big went out to guard the perimeter guy.
I know he was on Cleveland for sure.
So was it Larry Nance? Maybe.
I don't think it was Thompson.
I don't think it was Thompson either. I have to look at it, but it's LeBron is a player that you build around. I think you can build around Kevin Durant, yes, because he's efficient. But the way that LeBron passes the ball, I think it's, you know what I mean. It's just a little different.
I know what you mean, but I'm still going with KD.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm honestly not even mad at that answer. You know what I'm saying? I would honestly choose both. You know what I'm saying?
Just put a super team it. Why not?
Yeah,
might as well.
It's all depends on preference. Who do you prefer?
It really does.
Prefer LeBron, or do you prefer Kevin Durant? Like with the Joker and Embiid, it's preference. Do you prefer Embiid? Do you prefer the Joker? I'm just saying. Are
you asking us, or is that just you saying it?
It's just a preference.
Oh, okay.
We should do that the next show. We should do a preference list.
Ooh,
that'd be fun. Nick, you can come on and you can come on.
Yeah, definitely count me in. I need that conversation because I would definitely go on a debate with that Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah, because they're both bigs. But the playing styles are the same, but they're a little different too. They're a little different too.
I need to know, where would you go? Who would you pick, Nick?
I'm gonna save my comments.
Save that. Say,
I'm gonna save those comments.
Oh, dang it.
We're going to make a preference list. We should just come up with a list of preferences and talk about that on the next Count the Bucket, which will be on the 15th, which will be right before the playing game. Right before it. And the WNBA will be playing on that night too. So I'll be working double time. Okay, fellas.
And on my list, apparently, the next show will have Ethan on the show with us.
Okay.
My guy, Ethan.
Nick,
so you can talk about
obviously, you're more than welcome too.
Oh, yeah, you can come definitely. Back on. So
definitely.
Ethan and his Bulls. Oh boy. Ethan. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. I want him to talk about his Bulls a little bit. But they've been interviewing some crazy guests. They've been getting a lot of comments.
Oh yeah, they have. Shout out to them, and they've definitely been working.
They have definitely been working. Those young guns they hustling. You do it now.
I was actually with Ethan yesterday interviewing. I cannot remember his name. It's an undrafted free agent that just signed with the Browns.
Oh wow! Really? They've been going crazy on interviews. They've been going crazy.
Yeah, they have.
Cannot think of his name. It's Emmanuel something other. He played for Miami of Ohio last year, cornerback.
I love those undrafted free agents because I love the underdog story.
Well, that's one thing I asked him because I never really thought about it. Like everybody's dream is to be drafted, but at the same time, the later rounds, you're just picked up by teams that are just thinking he could have potential, but it may not fit that player's style really. If you go undrafted instead of being drafted in those, you can be like, okay, I'm glad you want me, but I see myself fitting better here. You can kind of control your own fate on that. So I kind of thought undrafted would probably be the way to go if you're looking like a 6-7 round on that.
Yeah. But it really just depends because this draft was crazy. It was weird because Ronnie Perkins was a top 50 player and he got drafted in the third round by the Patriots. And I was like, what the heck? He's an OU player. So I kept up with him, of course. And then you had Trey Sermon go to San Francisco 49ers, and I think he's going to shine in Kyle Shanahan's system. So I was happy for him. Ramondre Stevenson went to the Patriots. Reminds me of LeGarrette Blount a lot. That works. So getting drafted in late rounds is not a bad deal.
No.
Some late rounds, a lot of late rounders pan out better than first rounders.
Also, I'm gonna say this too. Shout out to Janaris Robinson. I want to say I'm saying his name correctly. He just got drafted by Minnesota Viking. He's from this Florida area where I'm at. So shout out to him. Definitely.
Oh, okay. Yes. So shout outs tonight. The shout outs come, baby. They come.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? They come. That is it for Count the Bucket.
Yeah.
Count the Bucket.
Yeah.
And then some.
And then some.
He's East Coast too. We dead tired already.
I know. I'm about to go to sleep too. Looks like the Nets gonna be able to win their remaining 4. They got the Bulls, Spurs, Bulls, Cavs. So they should be able to win those 4.
At least 3.
At least 3 of those 4. But guys, that is it for Nick, Amber, and Michael. We'll see you next week or this week.